mic. Testing, mic testing, mic testing. How's the sound? Hilarious. Okay, sounds good.
Feel you're satisfied, sister.
You don't know nothing about this shit.
Giving you my love.
Don't know nothing about this.
If we touch the sky, brother, you love us cry. Sister, till we're satisfied. Lovers, I'm taking So let's touch the sky, brother. Touch the sky. Let us touch the sky, oh, sister. Touch the sky. Touch the sky, brother.
Here we go, here we go.
Touch the sky. Touch the sky, oh, sister. Touch the sky.
All right. We're gonna get into it. Hope everybody's doing well. I put a lot of thought into this, right? What are some leadership traits? I wanted to put together 20. What are some leadership traits to get to that 100K mark? Or the skills the leadership skills that you have to get to that 100K mark? I know a lot of times we got a lot of brothers in the space that feel like it's unattainable. They feel like they may not be able to do it. They may not have the confidence. They may not have the charisma. They may not have the knowledge. And that's what I'm here for. So I try to bring something a little bit different to you too, especially on this side, especially being from the manosphere. Try to bring something a little bit different in the sense of I want to add values to brothers. And a quick question, what makes me qualified to do that, right? I've been in manufacturing for one of the Fortune 500 companies for the last 10 years, 7 promotions in 10 years. Right now, I am a plant manager, all right? That 100K mark is not as unattainable as a lot of brothers may think, or even sisters. It's not beyond it's not beyond your understanding. It's not beyond your abilities. It's absolutely possible. So I am here as somebody who's done it to try and provide some value. All right, we'll dive right into it. So the very first one is visionary thinking, right? The ability to inspire and set a clear direction for the team. What does that look like? I can tell you from experience that I came into a situation where it was kind of like herding cats. People were all over the place. People had their own beliefs and they had their own thoughts about what the company should be. They had their own thoughts about the way things should go, but nobody wanted to step up to the plate and really be the change that they said that they wanted. So they bring somebody in like me who comes in and looks at everything, looks at all facets, right? I look at all the metrics. I meet with all the people, get face to face with them. I learn who has grandchildren. I learn who has adult kids. I learn whether those kids are in sports. I'll try to learn everything I can about the people because I am the one that's going to be in charge of leading them. So visionary thinking is the first one. The next one is strategic planning. What is strategic planning? The ability to develop and implement effective plans to achieve goals. A lot of times when you come into a situation, especially if you are coming in as a leader and you go through this evaluation phase, right? And sometimes it takes a couple of weeks, sometimes it takes a couple of months. In my case, it's taken a couple of months because I have a really, really large team. Um, but the strategic planning piece comes in play when you start. The first thing you got to do is cut out the cancers, unfortunately. And what does that look like? Sometimes it means terminating people. Sometimes it means putting them on a PIP or a performance improvement plan. Sometimes it means some mentorship. Sometimes you're running into people who have external factors that are affecting the way that they act in the workplace, and you got to try to find ways to think outside of the box to address that, right? That would be the strategic planning, please. The next one is adaptability, the ability to adjust to changing circumstances and environments. I've always said if you ever want to start a business or if you ever want to be somebody who earns a lot of money, all you have to do is get really good at adapting and solving problems. If you can do that, then you stand a really good chance of making a pretty nice penny when it comes to your career choice. Okay. So we talk about adaptability. The next one we'll cover is emotional intelligence, the ability to understand and manage one's own emotions and the emotions of others, which is oftentimes difficult. You have to try and manage somebody else's emotions. I put up a short not too long ago, and I said the reason why a lot of people won't be leaders is because no matter what you have going, no matter what you have going at home, no matter what you have going with your spouse, whatever the case may be, once you get to the workplace, nobody cares. They're going to put all of their problems on you, and they are expecting you to be able to deliver um, an answer or a solution, which boils back to the previous point I was just talking about. Get good at solving problems, get good at adapting, get good at thinking outside of the box, and you'll really solidify yourself. I read this book about 3 years ago by an author named Seth Godin, and the name of that book was Lynchpin. And that's pretty much what Lynchpin talked about. You want to make yourself so valuable that the company really can't see themselves without you. And I know for a lot of people, they'll say, well, I don't want to work for anybody else. I've covered this on a previous stream also. In order to start a business, you got to have capital. And in order to get capital, a lot of times you have to have a gig, right? You have to have a gig. Shout out to Seek Amethyst. She's read that book too. Lynchpin is a beast. I love that book too. If you can get through the little boring part that's right in the middle, right before he starts to talk about the lizard brain, then it's a really good read. You just have to endure that little dead space that's in it. But it's a really good book. And it also, if you, just like anything else, you read it and you take the bullet points out of it, or if you like me, you use Post-its and you write notes and come back and revisit them later, then you can take that stuff and implement it and roll it into what you do every day. But Lynchpin is an amazing book. If you can stand to get through some of the parts that may be a little bit boring. So what we just talked about was emotional intelligence. I'll cover again the ability to understand and manage one's emotions and the emotions of others. How do you manage the emotions of other people? You have to know what they care about. You have to know they come in with this mentality of what's in it for me, right? For somebody like me, who I go into new plants, and like I said, I go through that evaluation phase where I'm getting to know everybody. And what I'm really trying to figure out is what's important to them. Is it something realistic that we can deliver on or I can deliver on? Is it something that is really high value, low effort? Or if it's something that I have to put a lot of effort into it and it's really not driving a lot of value? And if that's the case, I have to try and influence them to think differently, or I have to try and influence them to do something different, right? The next one, communication skills, the ability to effectively convey ideas and information. And a lot of times I've always trained my guys to, especially the ones that are new moving into leadership, new moving into salary positions, you never go into a meeting without doing your due diligence first. So a lot of times I'll tell them, hey, you're going to have to block out at least an hour, 30 minutes, depending on the meeting. If you are presenting, you need to block out at least an hour. But if it's something where you know at some point you're gonna be called on, you want to make sure you know your job, you want to make sure you know the guy's job next to you, you want to make sure you know the guy's job that whoever reports up to you, you want to know all of these things before you go into a meeting because perception means a lot, right? You don't want to be the guy that's stuttering in a meeting. You're really not sure. I'll give you a quick story that happened last week. I was busy as shit. I had a lot of stuff going, had a whole lot of stuff going, right? And I remember that I had this meeting maybe 2 days prior. So I went through and I used this program called Snagit. I went through and took a bunch of screenshots of graphs. I went through and took a bunch of screenshots of information that I knew I was going to talk about in this meeting. I had all the answers and I screenshot all of this stuff and I kind of put it off to the side in another window and I left it open on my laptop and I refocused and went and started doing all of this other stuff. Well, in the process of doing an interview, my boss kind of peeked his head in my office and kind of looked around, and that let me know, oh shit, I got this meeting. So I went and dove into this meeting with corporate, and I had everything that I needed. There was a PowerPoint presentation that was already up on the screen. It had the same information that I had already screenshot a few days prior, and I rattled off all of the information that I needed to rattle off. There wasn't a lot of questions from corporate. They didn't ask a lot of they'll always have some kind of feedback. They'll never say, hey, good job, next. But the questions that they asked, I had all the answers to, and everything went off without a hitch. I followed up with my boss afterwards. He was like, hey, excellent job. But he also wasn't worried. He know that I take care of what I need to take care of. The next skill we'll talk about is decisiveness. The ability to make difficult decisions in a timely manner. This is one a lot of people struggle with, but it's also the one that should really motivate people to really know and understand what they're doing, like know the hell out of your job. I saw a clip, I think it was on TikTok, and it was Mark Cuban, and he said, know your job better than anyone else. That is something that I've tried to practice. It's something that I've trained on. It's something that I've spent a lot of time investing in the future leaders, like, hey, make sure you know your job. One of the ways that I stress test whether or not they know their job is better if you mess up in front of me than to get into a meeting, right? And you're stuttering or you're stuck, or it's time for you to present to corporate, or it's time for you to present to investors or shareholders, and you get in front of them and you don't know what the hell is going on. You don't understand your metrics. You don't understand how you're being graded. You don't understand what they care about. You don't understand that something that you may feel you may really care about, and it may not be something that they even give a damn about. Those are the things that you want to leave out. But the ability to be decisive and make those difficult decisions really quick is something that people struggle with sometimes, especially if they are accustomed to taking problems and sitting it in somebody else's lap. They solve it for them, and that's kind of it. That's it. That's all. In leadership, and some of the skills that you need to know if you're going to make this 100K mark is the ability to make difficult decisions and do it really quick. Some people get analysis paralysis. Some people get nervous. Some people feel like I have to be perfect. I can't mess up. But in the process of growing into leadership, if you have a good leader that's training you, they will allow you the room to mess up. And then you double back and kind of check those boxes and say, hey, why did you make that decision? Okay, you made that decision for that reason, but next time, can you think about it this way? Next time, can you think about it this way? Hey, if you make that decision that you just made, it's going to affect X, Y, and Z. If you make this decision that I'm telling you about, it's going to affect A, B, and C. So I try to explain the bigger picture to them so they'll understand that, it's not a knock against you to make the wrong decision. Sometimes it's just important that you make a decision. That's really what I care about. I care more about somebody who actually makes a decision than whether or not it's 100% accurate or not. I mean, don't do anything that's illegal. Don't do anything that's going to land us in HR. Don't do anything that is going to cause something that's unsafe, going to cause somebody to leave the building different than the way they showed up. Don't do anything perverted, right? But the assumption is that this is common sense. But the ability to make decisions is extremely important. The next one, we're going to talk about empowerment. We're going to talk about empowerment, and I'm not talking about the sisters, right? I'm not talking about that kind of empowerment. But we're talking about empowerment in general. Sometimes the sisters fall under that umbrella. Sisters, brothers, people of different races and demographics, people of different backgrounds, which we'll touch on as we go through these. But For the sake of the conversation, empowerment, the ability to delegate responsibility and authorities to other. The ability to delegate responsibility and authority to others. Going into what we were just talking about. Trying to get people okay with making decisions, trying to get people, to really pull the trigger on it. I am empowering you to do this. I trust that you're going to do this. I had a guy who doesn't have really thick skin. He's young, hasn't really had a whole bunch of life under his belt yet. And he came and asked me a million questions one day, and I finally told him, hey, man, listen. And this is something that if you are a leader right now, this is something that you can use to really empower your people. He kept asking me all of these questions about stuff that was super simple. And it's like he was scared to make a mistake. And what I told him is something that somebody told me years ago that changed the way I look at my own confidence when I would move into difficult situations. I told him, hey, man, listen, I trust your decision-making ability. Just make the call. Just make the call. Are you sure? Well, I didn't want to mess up. I'm 100% sure. I trust your ability to make the right decision, man. Take care of business. Let me know if you need help. Those words alone can empower somebody to really open up and start to think outside of the box, especially, when you're in senior leadership, you don't spend a lot of time doing the actual function of folks' job. So you may be a little bit separated, right? You may be in the office taking care of stuff on the back end. So you really don't have a chance to spend a whole lot of time right there in the mix once you go through that phase of getting to know people, getting to, understanding what's important to them, so on and so forth. So the ability to empower people is extremely important. That empowerment piece. What's next? Integrity. Integrity, act in an honest and ethical manner. Something that should be cut and dry, right? But someone may come and say, hey, ethical is subjective. What's ethical to me may not be ethical to you, but when you start working in industry and when you start working for companies, or if you work for a Fortune 500, if you are in business for yourself, integrity is of the utmost importance. One of the main things I've seen to shit can people when it comes to leadership is if you lie. If people can't trust what you say, that is a problem. It is a serious problem. As a senior manager, I fired supervisors for this, for lying. And a lot of times those conversations are odd, but they're necessary. Integrity is a must. No one can second guess what it is that you say, especially in leadership, because you have the power and the ability to affect a large number of people with one single lie. So integrity is of the utmost importance. It's of the utmost importance. The next one that we just kind of touched on, this is number 9, confidence. The ability to inspire trust and belief in oneself and one's ability. This may come back to that 10,000 hours that people talk about. They said you have to, in order to be an expert at something, you have to do it for 10,000 hours. But at the same time, as you are going through your 10,000 hours, you have to have this confidence. I'll tell you one of the biggest confident boosts I've had as an adult man. And when I say as an adult man, I'm talking about being over 30. I'm 39, Lord willing, I'll be 40 in April. So I'm getting on up there. But one of the biggest boosts that I've had to my confidence past the age of 30, a lot of them are a lot of the things we talked about: the visionary thinking, the strategic planning, the adaptability, the emotional intelligence, communication skills, decisiveness, empowerment, integrity. All of those things fed into me being an extremely confident individual. My first stop, I was a driver. I came into manufacturing with a CDL, a Class B, because I was a train operator at one point. But it was enough to get me in the door as a driver. From a driver, I moved into being a technician. I had been to trade school to be a technician. From there, I moved into the engineering department and did what's called total quality maintenance or total productive maintenance. And from there, I went out to be what's called a group leader. And then from being a group leader, I went to supervisor. From supervisor, I went to manager. From manager, I went to senior manager, plant manager. In order to make that jump, especially in the span of 10 years, 7 positions, a lot of it was a lot of confidence, some bravado, but a lot of confidence because I did everything I could to be good at my job. I studied it outside of the building. If I didn't know something, or if I heard a word that I had never heard before, somebody used some type of nomenclature that I really didn't understand, I went back and did the research. If I ran into a piece of equipment that I didn't understand and that I couldn't troubleshoot and fix, I would hang around until a more senior guy got there, and I would hang in his hip pocket until I figured out what it is that he did, why did he do it. I would take old parts that failed, I would take them and put them on my toolbox, disassemble them, figure out what failed inside of them. All of this crazy stuff. My old phone was full of pictures of just parts of bottling equipment. But I was obsessed with being good at my job. And once I got to the point where I really got my legs underneath me, my confidence was through the roof. To the point to where I was sent all around the country to do the same thing and train other people to do the same thing, but you can't put your work ethic into other people. That is one of the trick bags of leadership. You can't instill your work ethic into people, but you'll get further along with influence than you will with control. Being in control makes leadership extremely difficult. What is the next one? Having a positive attitude, man. Having a positive attitude, the ability to maintain a positive outlook and inspire positivity in others. Sometimes that can be hard. You have people who are 100% dead set on having a bad day. And as a leader, you have to figure out how to change this mindset. But also, to change this mindset, a lot of times you have to have a relationship that is more than just, hey, I'm the guy in charge. It has to be, you have to know these people. You have to know the situation sometimes. And sometimes that can be, a fine line. But I give my folks complete, I give them an opportunity to be honest. I give them an opportunity to express themselves. I allow my supervisors to come into my office and vent if they need to, uninhibited. But the idea behind it is to take all of their worries, kind of put them to the side, and try and get that positive attitude out of them. If I can inspire supervisors and managers to have a positive attitude, they'll be able to go out, meet with our team members, and do the same. Okay. What is the next one? Creativity. The ability to think outside the box, come up with new and innovative ideas. A lot of people struggle with this one. Even soups and managers struggle with this one. I can't give you my creativity. I was obsessed with learning my job. I can't instill creativity in you, but everybody has their own innate ability to figure things out. And the way we come to the same answer may not be the same road. We might not travel the same road. So the creativity piece is extremely important. We had an issue happen yesterday, and I was talking with one of my supervisors, and I said, "Hey, man, I'm gonna give you this pro tip." He was trying to figure out what was going on with this piece of equipment. He was like, "Hey, I need your help. What's going on?" He was panicking, and I can tell he was coming unglued. And I got on the phone with him. It was about 2 o'clock this morning, matter of fact, 2 or 3 o'clock this morning. I got on the phone with him. I said, "Hey, man, first thing, calm down. Calm down, because if you panicking, people are looking at you, and they probably feeling the same thing. So you can't say, hey, there's the cliff, let's jump off of it. You're a leader. You signed up for this. But I'm gonna tell you what you can do. You can take this machine that failed. You can take the part that failed. Take your phone out. That device that we all carry around. I know the battery is charged because you probably own it throughout the night. Take that device that you have. Take a picture of the part number. Go back to your computer. Do a Google search. Once you do a Google search, it's going to bring up a bunch of distributors. You figure out which one is closest to you, and you figure out how fast they can get you the part. Simple. Simple. But in the process of being nervous, a lot of times people can't figure this thing out. And that's something that's super simple. Hey, you had a piece of equipment, it went down. There's a reason why it went down. There's a component that failed inside of it. Pull that component out, take a picture of the part number, take the part number, do a Google search. Once you do a Google search, it's going to bring up a lot of information for it. If you really want to be a dog, go to tools, go to the tools drop down, right, and search PDFs for it. It may bring up the manual for it if you don't have it. But at the end of the day, if this machine has failed and you know why it failed, and you got the part that failed in your hand, do a simple Google search and figure out who has it. If it's an approved vendor, okay, cool, you create a purchase order. Make sure you get it quick. If it's not an approved vendor, you got a credit card with a pretty big limit on it. Buy with your credit card. Expensive, I'll approve it. It'll come through my email, I'll push it through. Just put an explanation of what it's for. Right? Miss Seek said I would keep that information in mind. Thanks, absolutely. That's one of the reasons why I do this, man, is to try and give something back. And also a lot of times, man, that 100K that a lot of people don't understand, when you get past that, listen, a lot of stuff changed. If you see me out in public, you're gonna be like, it's just working man going about his business, and that's a good thing for me, right? What is the next one? Self-awareness. The ability to understand one's own strengths and weaknesses. The ability to understand one's own strengths and weaknesses. This is super important, obviously. Where you're weak at, of course, you want to go in and work on it. But where you are strong at, then you have the ability to inspire and train and motivate other people. But the areas where you're weak, then those are the areas that you work on the most. If you know you're not good at public speaking, you don't really know what to do with your hands, then obviously that's something that you may want to work on. I'm gonna bring up a video that I saw that will really put this into perspective for you. It'll really put it into perspective.
Put your hands by your side. A lot of people will do this when they get up on stage. They're like, hi, my name is, and they don't know what to do with their hands. So for both here, who's in charge? Can you even tell which one of us is in charge? You really can't tell anything. Do what you did at the beginning. Go to the influence zone like you did before, because you read the book. Now who's in charge? One movement, and I watch. Switch. Now who's in charge? And so what's happening is he's moved him into the influence zone. Influence zone's from his belly button all the way to his eyes. So when your hands are in this zone, we're talking, we're expressing, using our hands as PowerPoint. We're drawing photos. They've done communication of saying the same things with no hand gestures, and comprehension goes way down.
When I was coming up as a leader, shout out to Sammy Williams. Glad to have you here, brother. When I was growing as a leader, that was one of the things I thought about. I've never been afraid of public speaking for whatever reason. But I still did research on it because I wasn't 100% sure. I watched a lot of my bosses when they would present and what they would do with their hands. A lot of these folks were military people, so they had a lot more experience doing it than I did. But I just so happened to not be nervous about it. That's never been something that I've really panicked or froze up about. I always made sure I did my due diligence and made sure I knew what the hell I was talking about. I also understood that in my head, I may sound like I'm going at pace, but the reality of it is I was probably going fast, so I would purposely slow myself down to make sure that everything would come out clear. But the main thing behind it is making sure that I know what I was talking about before I would present, right? But I appreciate you, brother. Sun Tzu preaches this off the bat, absolutely. The next one. So we just covered self-awareness. The next one, cultural sensitivity, the ability to understand and respect different cultural backgrounds. Super important, especially nowadays. I had a guy that just resigned. I like this guy, man. The day before he resigned, he came in my office and he said, hey, man, I really appreciate what you're doing. I see a change in the group. And, I just really, man, I'm just excited to. And I was like, damn, man, I like this dude. He seemed like he'll be a good leader someday, right? You can give him instruction. He wouldn't get offended. He was an older guy, so he had some life under his belt, but was super nice, super polite. I actually had him stay late one day. He knocked something over and I had him stay and pick it up. I stayed and helped him, but I had to break off and do some other stuff, but he was a nice guy. And then the next day he resigned. So I was like, what the hell? This is crazy. This is crazy. He started out as a temp. I had the supervisor bring him on permanent. I have an open door policy. Anybody can come in. I'm not bigger than anybody. But he resigned the next day. Why did he resign? This is another thing too. If you have team members that resign, you always want to do some type of exit interview. You always want to have one last conversation with them because perspective can do a lot of different things. And if you are a leader and you're leading people, it's important to understand their perspective. You may not agree with it, but it's important to understand it. It makes you better as a leader. The one thing you don't want to do is lean on your own understanding and say that, well, that person just suck. You know, you always want to ask those questions and have those exit interviews. My brother Charles Finley, what's going on, boss? He said, I caught this live by mistake on purpose and I hit that like button. I appreciate it, man. Everybody who's stopping by and everybody who's in the room, I know it's not many of us. I want y'all to hit that like button. If I was talking about Tory Lanez, I'm pretty sure it would be it would be lit up in here, right? But shout out to brother Charles Finley. Shout out to the sister Seek. We always jump on each other live. I know normally I catch her live on IG. When I'm live over here, she always drop by and show support. So I say it all the time. I am a manosphere guy. I'm a red pill guy. This is obviously a male-centered channel, but we also show respect and love to the sisters that support us. I'm not a woman hater. I'll tell you that off top. And I don't think a lot of brothers are. I think a lot of brothers are jaded, you know, and that's cool. Shit, I done been there. I'm not gonna sit here and lie to you. I've been there, you know. Shout out to the Passport Bros. With all of this stuff that's going on, I think at the end of the day, for the most part, a lot of them are just saying,
stop acting like a fucking hood rat and bring your black ass home.
what the sister saying?
Stop acting like a fucking hood rat and bring your black ass home.
Damn. Oh, Lord. But shout out to Seek. Shout out to the brothers, man. Shout out to the brothers. Y'all know I keep the soundboard ready. Shout out to all the independent women, man. Shout out to them. Yeah, you independent and then all of a sudden.
Y'all finna quit.
Yeah. Be independent as hell. Then but I'm tired of being strong. I just.
Y'all finna quit because this shit is ridiculous. Y'all finna quit.
Be independent as hell. Till the 50-hour work weeks kick in.
Y'all finna quit because this shit is ridiculous.
Oh, hey, we got to work this weekend.
Y'all finna quit because this shit is ridiculous.
I'm like, damn, you called off Monday and Tuesday. What you mean you finna quit? You was independent. Yeah, working these hours with me is gonna bring your ass right into your soft girl era out there playing these goddamn games. Hey man, you coming back from your lunch a little bit too late.
Y'all finna quit because this shit is ridiculous.
Oh man. Them points start running up. They got to come have a sit down with me or their supervisor. Then all of a sudden,
You did this shit, yo.
like, what? I manage people, sis. What you mean? You should have been fired.
Stop acting like a fucking.
You should have been fired 2 days ago. How's it my fault?
You did this shit, yo. You did this. I ain't come out here with no fake shit.
God damn. I mean, I ain't got nothing to do with your personal situation, man, but
Not only do I gotta be ridiculed by the internet, but I gotta be ridiculed by you.
ridicule. I'm just doing my job, sis. I'm just doing my job. God damn. Let me bring some of these comments. Shout out to my brother Sammy. He said, glad to be here, brother. Thank you for the gems. I use this point with the hands when lecturing at TCU. Nice. Go Horn Frogs. I'm from D-Town, bro, so I'm all things Texas. Explaining philosophical concepts becomes easier when using the hands to guide eyes to the board. Absolutely. You know, there's another part to this too. Traditionally, if you are presenting and you have your hands in the up position, it's seen as more friendly. And this is something that I have to be mindful of and I have to be careful of because a lot of times when I talk with my palms down. And when I explain stuff, a lot of times I'm a tall guy. When I explain stuff, a lot of times I am hitting the bullet points as I'm talking, right? But I have to be mindful that palms down is a dominant position when you're talking to people. If you're showing the palms, it's normally seen as friendly. Hey, what's going on, guys? Good morning, everybody. Good to see you. Hope everybody's good. Everybody had a good ride on the way to work today. First things we're going to cover this, that, the other. I have a tendency of doing that. The front of your hands are friendly. The back of your hands are normally seen as dominant. Palms down, the back of your hands, right? Whenever I'm having conversations with corporate, I never cross my arms because traditionally when you feel threatened, you normally cover your most vital organs, right? When I'm in meetings, I never sit with my arms crossed and cover my vital organs. It makes you look uncomfortable. What I'll do on purpose is I'll kind of be in my meetings like this and kind of making eye contact with everybody, especially the person that's talking. I'll have my pen taking notes, hanging on to every word, especially if it has something that's going to affect me. If it's in another department and I know you're talking about something that's going to affect me, I'm taking my notes and I'm writing my questions down like, this is what I'm going to ask as soon as you finish talking. Because you're saying something that's going to affect me, right? But shout out to the brother Sammy. Got the brother Charles Finney in the building. Seek. That's my girl right there. It's the bro ain't never lied. Tory Lane. Man, I'm telling you, bro, I could literally get on here, play booty clapping sounds on repeat for like 2 hours. It'll have like 1,200 views. But that's our people, though. I understand it from a leadership perspective because, unfortunately, the boring stuff, the stuff that we're talking about right now, the stuff that is going to help you smash the gas on your salaries or increase your income, that stuff is not always fun. It's not always entertaining, right? But I feel like I'm doing my part if I'm putting the information out there. I feel like I'm doing what I'm supposed to, which is to try and teach brothers and sisters how to fish. What you talking about, Seek? He said, I'm not independent, my bed friend.
Y'all, I'm finna quit because this shit is ridiculous.
Seek said, I'm not independent. To hell with that. You don't want to be independent, Seek? You just on them 60, 70-hour work weeks? You know what I'm saying? You get about 60, 70 hours, man. I think around Christmas time, man, I almost worked 3 weeks straight. It's crazy. Hadn't done that in a while. But I appreciate you being here, sister. She will be back soliciting that monkey, that Chango. You already know what time it is. As soon as the bottom fall out of society, boy, that thing gonna sell, boy. That little $40 turn into $13, man. Just can't wait to move back to Texas. Hey, I think you were from H-Town, right? If I'm not mistaken. I want to say you lived in H-Town at one point, like in Houston. Seek taking notes, that's what I'm talking about. I know the hand over the others when you hiding something. Yeah. I've seen people in meetings where they would literally be talking, right? You're talking to corporate or you're talking to the larger group, and they would take their hands and put it like over their crotch. You know what I'm saying? They would take their hand and kind of put it over their crotch. And to me, I always looked at it as like, damn, the hell is that? You know what I mean? Which is, it's just an odd stance for me. I was like, bro, ain't nobody gonna kick you in the junk, bro. It's just odd, right? Shout out Brother Charles Finley. If you don't mind me asking, what industry are you in, brother? Brother Charles. Bro is teaching. Body language is everything. Arms crossed is a big one. Shows you are guarded, not open. Yep. Ms. Turner, we need this knowledge. I appreciate it, bro. I appreciate it. You know, I always try to find a balance between exposing too much because people will, in the spirit of trying to help, some people will just feel like you trying to stunt or kind of brag. I was on the panel one day, and this dude was like, "Oh, you trying to sound smart?" I was like, "Bro," and I had to really take a deep breath, and I was like, our people. But I appreciate that, brother. Just I'm anemic. He said, never go over 40. I got you. Yes, I'm from the H, but plan on moving back to Dallas, man. What you doing in my city, man? I'm going back home in April for my B-Day. I'm gonna be back in the city. I might go before then. Heck, I'm in Kentucky right now. This shit is wearing me out. If you moving to Dallas, this is like a big South Dallas. It's like a big hood, a little big hood, because it's not that big. You know, you can throw a rock and shit be in Ohio. I actually live right off the Ohio River between Kentucky and Indiana. while I'm here. But when I go back home, you already know what time it is. That's my home. This is the launching pad, my work spot. But okay, she gonna be in the deep. What part of Dallas? In actual Dallas Metroplex or in the suburbs, Plano, Richardson, Louisville. So where about? And I may be asking too much information. You ain't got to answer that if you don't want to. Okay, your maintenance guy, industrial or residential? If you don't mind me asking. If you are industrial, you definitely should book a consultation with me, bro. I would give you the whole game because I was an industrial technician. I worked with Fanuc robots. I've worked with palletizers. I've worked with Hotfield, Coalfield, Allen Bradley, Cisco, all of the different all things industrial maintenance. I'm very well versed on that. Live in North Dallas. Okay, cool. Mitch Turner, when you pull up, holler, let's be it. Bro, absolutely. I used to live in North Dallas, bro. I lived off 635. I lived all off of 635. I lived off 635 in Ardelia. I've lived off of Skillman and Church. I've lived off Whitehurst back in the day. I've lived all over North Dallas. I actually grew up on Webb Chapel. So I got people in North Park. I've been all over North Dallas, bro. I'm actually from West Dallas, but I've been all over North Dallas, bro. But we'll definitely grab some lunch, bro. Sit down and rap a tad, man. Absolutely. Absolutely. Seek say, I'm really looking to live I'm looking to live in my car. AC, I'm trying to be independent.
Y'all, I'm finna quit.
She said, I'm looking to live in my car. Dallas is getting up there. A lot of people be like, oh, the cost of living is great. I'm like, man, them Californians messed all that up. You can hang that up. You can hang it up. Rent is high in Dallas, especially if you're actually living in Dallas, like in the Metroplex downtown. It's high. You gotta get out a little bit. And even when you move out a little bit, it's still high. Shout out to my brother Helmet Chili, man. That's my boy right there. That's my bro. Glad to see you here, brother. Glad to see you here. Yeah, my brother Sammy, absolutely. Yeah, we're gonna make that happen, bro. We're gonna make that happen. For a minute, I was going back and forth from Texas to Kentucky and back and forth almost every weekend. I couldn't get used to this. I couldn't get used to the Texas is so different, man. It's way different than a lot of other places in this country. I grew up in it, so I love it to death. I wouldn't pick no other place over it. I've traveled quite a bit. I wouldn't pick another place over it. It's my personal preference. I like the elbow room. I like the space. Like my truck wouldn't fit in my parking garage here. Just weird shit. Like I never thought of that. And I'm like, I'm not dropping my truck, so I use Uber and Lyft until I quit bullshitting and actually go on and buy another car. Stop playing. Work at a hotel, but I also do side jobs. Cool. Man, I know you make a killing like in the summer when people AC be going out. You got that HVAC experience. Make a killing, bro. Make a killing. My brother Helmet Chili said, I didn't see the notification here waiting for snowfall in Ontario. Yeah, man, I forgot you just relocated, bro. Shout out to you for making that jump. Shout out to you for making that jump, bro. I think we was talking about on the last stream, they say if you've never lived more than 50 miles outside of where you grew up from, then you haven't really experienced a lot of life. So shout out to you for making that jump, bro. My boy jumped countries on them boys. Proud of you, bro. Wide body snow machine. That's what I'm talking about. And you getting some snow. You getting some snow up there. Right. We're going to dive into this list. We're on number 14. If you so see fit, make sure you hit the Cash App, hit the PayPal. This is one of the things where I actually left work early to try and put this list together. I'm going to show y'all my notes. I'm going to go ahead and give y'all a peek behind the scene. My notes, I don't know if y'all can see that. I did them on a 11 by 17. So I took the liberty of typing all of this stuff up based on my experience, based on things that I've done in business, based on things I've seen in business. I've been blessed and had the opportunity to work with some really talented people that came from some of the most prestigious universities in the country, including the Naval Academy at Annapolis and West Point. A lot of my mentors when I was coming up in business came out of those establishments. So I took everything that I could and ran with it and put my own little spin and my own little twist on it. So here I am trying to present it to you guys. So if you see it of value, and if you see fit, of course, you're not obligated to bless the Cash App. That way, I can continue to try and bring these nuggets out and simplify a lot of stuff that I've learned and try to condense it down into something that's a little bit digestible for everybody. Number 14, resilience. The ability to bounce back from setbacks and adversity. We talked about that a little bit earlier in the stream, right? Everybody's going to bring their problems to you. Maybe you have your own issues that you're going through, but as a senior leader, one of the things I can respect is if somebody has a lot going on and they're still able to push through and persevere. They're still able to push through and persevere. They understand the bigger picture. And they're saying, hey, I got a lot going on, but I understand how what I do affects a lot of other people. And that's when you sign up for this, man, when you sign up to be a leader, that is an expectation, especially if you're doing it right. If you're doing it right. I had somebody resign today. When I had the conversation with them and they explained why they wanted to resign, in my humble opinion, and based on my experience, it really all boiled down to
Y'all, I'm finna quit because this shit is ridiculous.
really wasn't that resilient. Couldn't bounce back from whatever she had going. Divorced your husband, got into the workforce, want to get in here and play with the big dogs. Got to be able to keep up. But resilience, the ability to bounce back from setbacks and adversity. The next one, innovative thinking. Innovative thinking, the ability to come up with new and unique ideas. I have a bunch of stuff that if I was not working for the company that I work for, I could have patented and would probably be a millionaire by now. But I'm just thankful that I had really good leaders who inspired me to really think outside of the box. And I had the flexibility to do and try a lot of things. I had the flexibility to fail. I had the flexibility to push myself. I had the flexibility to sometimes spend a lot of money funding ideas that I had. And when they worked, it made the company millions. And when it didn't, I'm throwing $3,000 worth of parts in the trash. And I always felt bad about it, but we were able to do some really good stuff and create some really good stuff and 3D print and CAD draw and weld and fabricate really complex and in-depth pieces of equipment that are still in use to this day. So innovative thinking. The next one, number 16. And we're going through 1 through 20. I'll recap over these and then I'll drop the link in the room I'll drop the link in the chat if anybody want to come up and speak their piece. Number 16, team building, the ability to build and lead effective teams. The ability to build and lead effective teams. What are some of the things that you look for when you're building effective teams? For anybody in the chat that's in leadership, what are some of the things that you look for when you're building effective teams? We'll go through some of the. Shout out to my brother Helmut Chili. Yo. Got you. And I'm just going back, making sure I don't miss you guys' comments. Better thought of putting this into an ebook. The name alone is good for marketing. It's funny you say that, bro. That is one of the things that will probably come a little bit later down the line, and I want to charge for that because I'll actually show the numbers as far as I'll show the metrics on what I've made over the last few years, so that people understand that I'm not just kind of spewing some stuff that I read somewhere. But I think I may do it as like an ebook, or I do the consultations on the back end. If anybody's interested, turnerwrenchturner@gmail.com. I do the consultations on the back end, but I've thought about either doing almost like not necessarily a training, but kind of like how you said, like an ebook, and maybe it'll be cloud-based where people can download it. Because there is a lot of information, but I also want to make sure that I condense it down in a way where people can absorb it, right? If you go through a lot of my videos, I mention a lot of the bullet points that will probably be in the ebook, but that is absolutely one of the things that I do want to offer. And the good thing about it, man, that is it's not relegated to a race, it's not relegated to a gender, it's really open for everybody at whatever level you're at. I'm somebody who went from being hourly and marched up the ladder really quick. So I have a really good idea of how to do it. And the principles behind it aren't necessarily career based, as far as it's not only for manufacturing, or it's not only for the corporate world. These are things that you're literally, the information that I want to put in it, or the information that I will be putting in it, is actually showing somebody the guy who retrieves baskets at Aldi, all the way to the sister who is tired of doing what she's doing and she want to do something different, right? But the principles are the same. They don't change. They don't change. Observe how someone acts when they're frustrated. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. You know what? I'm gonna touch on it when I get to number 20. But it's almost like you read my mind. Once I get to 20, I'm gonna double back on all of this and kind of bring it back full circle. But you're 100% right. They say if you want to know how somebody feel about you, see how they act when you tell them no. Identify people's strengths, understanding that everyone learns differently. Yeah. When I got called to leadership, I asked them, why were they pushing me to do this? Why did they keep asking? And they said, because you come from sports. And at the time, I was coaching my son's team. So they was like, man, you are coaching, so you understand how teams work. That's why I said I had some really good leaders to be able to see that. Because at the time, I would have never thought it. He was like, man, you're a coach. You come from ball. You understand what teams are all about. I was like, damn. And he said it just casually, like, yeah, man. He's a graduate of, I think, University of Iowa. Shout out to him. I almost called his name. Shout out to him. But yeah, Helmut Chili, identify people's strengths, understanding that everyone learns differently, and then being able to have the talent to pivot and train and teach everybody differently is huge. The ability to problem solve, working smart, and someone who invests in themselves. Yeah. Nowadays, bro, with the rate at which technology is growing, if you want to learn another language, it's easy. If you want to learn another skill, it's easy. If you want to learn it, we have everything at our fingertips right now. So what happens is the playing field is even, and the most talented ones bubble to the top. The most talented ones bubble to the top. Look for folk who are willing to take accountability for their actions, not being afraid to come to the team leader to express themselves. Yeah. And even as leaders, man, it's important for us to be able to give them the flexibility to do that too, right? You set boundaries where they can't just come in and, just spew out hatred and, but the idea behind it is, if you sign up for these leadership roles, understand that you're signing up for stress, because you're taking other people's problems and you are replacing them with solutions. You know what I mean? Look for people who are teachable. Absolutely. Absolutely. I run into it a lot of times where people will say, hey, you in that position, y'all really don't do that much. But I just sent one of my guys to training in Miami. He came back and said, man, I have a newfound respect for what it is that you do, because it is a lot. I was like, yeah, you thought Excel was hard, huh? He was struggling with Microsoft Excel. So I go to show you how that go. Thank you for these lessons from your experience for real. Spent the day interviewing for lead developer roles. Nice, bro. Nice. You're in the right place, man. You'll get it. Just from your comments, I can tell you got a good head on your shoulders. I mean, you'll get it, bro. You'll get it. I have no doubt about that. I have no doubt about it, especially understanding the posture piece and what the hands mean. Of course, friendly with your palms. Backside is a lot more dominant. Palms down is a lot more dominant. Like I said, I have to be mindful of it. Even when I'm delegating work, I have a tendency to have my hand down. Hey, you go over and do this. You go do this. All right, you'll do it. I have to be, because I'm tall too. I don't want people to feel like I'm actually pushing their head down. So I try to be mindful of that. Try to be mindful of that. Seek, yes, football coach. Football coach. I coached, I coached 5-year-olds, 6-year-olds. I coached all the way up to 14-year-olds. After that, they my size. They just started smelling themselves, feeling on themselves. So I was like, after 14, hey man, y'all got it. Yeah, y'all can have it. But yeah, I coached football for a long time, played football for a long time, all my life actually. I've played football up until I was 28. Popped that Achilles tendon and it was a wrap. It was a wrap. Okay, that's Brother Helmet Chili talking to Brother Sam. Okay, cool. Just got to put in that work, absolutely. Shout out to Brittany B. Helmet Chili, okay, Java. Cool, cool, cool. Absolutely, bro. Absolutely. If there's anything I can do to help, bro, let me know. Learning JavaScript for freelancing took a break. Let me ask y'all something. Shout out to Seek. I'm sorry for your injury. Yeah, it's cool. I walked with a little limp for the longest. And when I look back at some of my old work boots, now, so this is a funny story. Now I wear ostrich skin work boots, but for the longest, I would just have your regular standard work boots. And they would wear unevenly on my right leg, which is the Achilles that I tore. I actually heard it when it popped. It was the oddest thing. The adrenaline was going. It was in the middle of the game. I didn't notice. I thought my shoestring had snapped, but lo and behold, it was my Achilles tendon. So that was interesting. But on the bright side, went to the hospital. I ended up dating the nurse. She's married now. Shout out to her. I ended up dating the nurse who took care of me. So that was cool, I guess. It was kind of cool. She was a college track star. It's awesome. Sister got big on me now, but it's all good, man. You know, a couple tiger stripes ain't never hurt nobody. But shout out to her. Her and her husband. He's a good dude. He's a firefighter. So if she sees this video, Jay, shout out to you. Good sister. So we talked about number 16, team building. Number 17, coaching and mentoring. Oddly enough, we segued right into that. Coaching and mentoring. The ability to provide guidance and support to team members. Going back to what I was talking about, from my position, I'm trying to support managers. They get into little one-on-ones with some of the people on the floor sometimes, or sometimes when dealing with vendors, right? I had a vendor that I was actually dealing with today. They were doing some work that we contracted them to do. They were taking more time than they should have. And finally, palms down. Hey guys, listen, I understand that you guys are doing a lot of work. I think we've been fair as far as giving you the time that you need, but 4 o'clock. You got until 4 o'clock. After that, we got to go. Questions, comments, or concerns? Are we all on the same page? Everybody good? You guys need anything from me? You good to go? Cool, appreciate it. And break off. It may seem kind of asshole-ish, but you have to do it that way. Otherwise, people run over you. And after we go through all 20 of these, I'm going to bring all of this back home. I'm going to bring this right on back home. Don't y'all worry about it. Don't y'all worry about it. Sister Seek say, I'm so sorry for you. I appreciate that, sister. I'm good now, though. You know what I mean? Give me some church shoes. I might start doing what they do in Chicago. I might start doing a little two-step. but number 17, coaching and mentoring, the ability to provide guidance and support to team members. The next one, delegation, ability to assign tasks and responsibility to team members. Got to be able to delegate. And in order to delegate, man, this is the funny thing about it. And this is why as leaders, we can't be high and mighty on our, you can't be this king in the castle type of mentality. So in order to delegate, you have to have the horses to run those type of races. So if you delegate something to somebody who doesn't have the talent to do it, I mean, you're going to make a bunch of problems that you have to go back and fix anyway. So you have to spend time sometimes a few levels down, building those horses to be able to run the type of races that you want to run. I'm actually in the process of doing that right now. A lot of the stuff that I would normally work on, pulling metrics, looking at, so for my position, I have to look at laws, right? I have to look at whether or not the county that we actually operate in is going to increase water usage, because for us, that can be a couple $100,000. So I have to look at stuff like that. looking at different kind of audits that we have with OSHA, all of these different things. Right now, I'm really working at some of the lowest levels to try to build these people up and get some the hell out of the building. Because at the end of the day, we have to have the horses to run the race that we need to race in order to run the type of race that we need to run in order to be successful. If that makes sense. Delegation, the ability to assign tasks and responsibility to team members. Number 19, conflict resolution. This is a big one, especially when you have a lot of say-so. Conflict resolution, the ability to manage and resolve conflicts within the team. Sometimes, rarely, but sometimes, very rarely, you have to say, hey, because I said so. And if you don't like it, that's fine, I understand. I'll write you a letter of recommendation, but you're not gonna be able to work here. Or you're not gonna be able to work with me. I've already done my due diligence. I didn't fall into this by accident. I've done my part. And I'm willing to put as much into you as I can, but in the back of my head, I'd be like, you got me fucked up. But the way it comes out is, hey, I'll put as much into you as you want to learn, but it's not going to be any kind of proving on my end. I've already done my part, right? There's a reason why my office is up at the front, kind of where it is. Because I've worked my ass off and I've sacrificed a lot to get there. That wasn't the end goal, but it's a byproduct of all of the sacrifices that I've made. And that's another reason why I try to put this information out there, because I want people to be able to take a different route. I want it to be a lot easier because I sacrificed a lot of time that I won't get back. So at the end of the day, it's all fair. I'm compensated fairly for the stuff that I do. Big bro, that should be on the shirt. A couple tiger stripes ain't never hurt nobody. Hey man, I'm trying to tell you, ain't never hurt nobody. How do you deal with difficult people as a supervisor or crew leader? So I'm a senior manager, right? So typically I train supervisors and I train other managers. But I've been a supervisor, of course. How do I deal with them? A couple different ways. So if I have somebody who's difficult, it depends on if it is something like personal, where they got something personal against me, or they have something personal against the supervisor. Normally, going back to what we were talking about earlier, I try to figure out what's important to them. If I can figure out what's important to them, 9 times out of 10, I can solve the problem. So if they tell me it's important for me, I just want to be acknowledged, and I feel like nobody tells us that we're doing a good job. Tell supervisor, hey man, listen, the way this person see things, they need to be acknowledged. I'm not telling you have to kiss their ass, and this is literally what I'm not telling you have to kiss their ass, but every now and then, let's make sure we're doing our part and make sure we're recognizing this person. You ain't got to do it every day. You ain't even got to do it every week. Every other week, just try, when this person is taking care of business, doing what they're supposed to, put a little bit more on their plate since they want some acknowledgement. Put a little bit more on their plate when they deliver. Let's make sure we acknowledge them for doing it. Or if it is somebody who likes to operate in the gray, meaning, well, they said nobody showed me that. Nobody showed me how to do that. And I know that you know how to do it. That's cool. We can put some processes in place. Let's get some 1 point lessons. Let's get some single point lessons. I'll put a process in place so tight to where it's not going to leave you room to do nothing but go to lunch and go to break. I can break your whole day down in 10, 15-minute increments. The checks that you're supposed to do, the startup that you're supposed to do, the shutdown that you're supposed to do, all of that. So that's normally how I deal with difficult people at like the hourly level. When it comes to supervisors, I'm a lot more straight to the point, because you signed up for this position. You signed up for this role. You signed up and said you wanted to lead people. So my assumption is that you care about people. My assumption is that you have experience in growing people. My assumption is that you know how to get the best out of people. My assumption, right, is that you understand what leadership is. You understand that leaders eat last. And the last difficult conversations that I had to have with my supervisors, I went off, not cursing or nothing like that, but I really put it out there and made them uncomfortable on purpose. Because anytime anyone who's salaried put their wants in front of somebody who's hourly, I'm going to immediately have a problem with it. I'm going to immediately have a problem with it, because they don't have as big a stick, right, to push back. They don't have, but so I have to advocate for them sometimes. But also, if my supervisor say, "Hey, this person's not working. I've tried everything that I can. I'm not able to get through to them. It looked like they're gonna exit the business." I'm like, "Cool. Let me know how I can support. Send me any kind of write-ups that you have first, so I can go through them with a fine-tooth comb before we administer. What are you doing to get this person on? What are you doing to get this person on board? What is it that they're doing or not doing that's causing this problem? Have you asked them this?" And then I may get face to face with the person, but I'll let my supervisors know, "Hey, I'm gonna go and get face to face with them. Let me see what this person's problem is." So I know that's a long way to answer your question, bro, but I have a passion for this. I'm trying to teach people how to fish, Get it, I'm self-taught. Link in with your boy so we can talk shop. Absolutely. That's a big one. Which one is a big one? Which one is a big one, Brittany B? If you're still here, if you're still in here. I do that. I'm also on the self-taught route. Or you're on this YouTube as a channel. So it's a lot of information out there, man. Let me ask you, IT brother, something. How do you think ChatGPT is going to affect IT? Because I just wrote an app. I just made an app the other day, on a whim. This is awesome, useful information. I appreciate it, Seek. Hopefully so. Hopefully so. The perspective, man, and what I've tried to tell a lot of people that's moving into salary roles or moving into these leadership positions, you have a lot of responsibility. The house is going to always win, meaning the company is going to always make money. So it's always funny when I hear people at the hourly level, "Man, this company make a lot of money, man. I don't know why I can't." I'm like, "Bro, you cost the company a lot of money too. Every other quarter you getting hurt. You got to cover your..." So stuff like that. But I appreciate that, Seek. I'm trying to shell out as much good info as I can, as much helpful info as I can. Appreciate that, bro. Absolutely. Absolutely. Anytime, brother. ChatGPT about to change the whole game, but remember, it's just a tool. Absolutely. What a lot of people don't understand, the power is in how you ask the question. So you can't say, "Hey, ChatGPT, show me how to make $1 million." It'll give you a generic answer, right? Versus, "Hey, ChatGPT, I ain't gonna get you out of the game." That'll be on the paid part. That'll be on the paid part. On the ebook. Because I got some ideas that I've been playing with on ChatGPT. I've been trying some stuff. I think ChatGPT is a useful tool for tweaking your work, improving productivity. Absolutely. Absolutely. What's so special about ChatGPT? So let me do this. I'm going to go through, because we are on number 19, conflict resolution. I'll hit number 20, and then I'll double back. I'll drop the link if anyone wants to come up. So once I get to the last point, I'm going to bring all of this back full circles for the people who are in the room. And then we'll get into the ChatGPT conversation. So last one we talked about was number 19, conflict resolution. The ability to manage and resolve conflicts within the team, which is super important. The last one, continuous learning. We talked about that. Shout out to you brothers for actually calling it out. But yeah, continuous learning. You never stop learning, man. Remember I talked about it even when I was coming up through the ranks. I was obsessed with learning my job. YouTube videos, at the time, half-price books, anything that I could get on industrial maintenance, anything that I can get on Lean Six Sigma, anything that I can get on total quality maintenance, total productive maintenance. Anybody who's on my channel, if you've seen some of the posts that I've put up over the last couple of months, I think one of the brothers called it out. You can see some of my books in the background at my house back home. Did a lot of reading, a lot of studying to really try and be good, to really harness on that continuous learning piece. So the ability to continually learn and improve one's skill and knowledge, and this is a never-ending journey. It is a never-ending journey. Even now, being a plant manager, senior manager, It's never ending. You never stop learning. You always learn. There's always the next thing, right? Seek say, "What's so special?" We're gonna get into it, Seek. We're gonna get into it. You got some tech brothers in the chat, so we're gonna see. We're gonna see if them brothers will come up. I just subscribed a couple of days ago. I didn't know you had a channel. I'll try to catch more lives and vids. Hey, I appreciate you, brother. And the idea behind it is to try and put information out and try to make that journey to six figures a lot easier than I had it, because I went the long way, man. I was just like, I'm gonna get out here and be better than everybody. So I'm gonna learn everybody's job to the point where it made me physically sick. And I'm not a person that gets sick like that. So that ought to tell you how hard I was going for years on end. Even now, I'll be honest, even now, sometimes I still feel tired from the years of work. I was hanging out with somebody and they told me, "You seem like you older than what you are." My bad. Accidentally hit the back button on my mouse. But I was hanging out with somebody and they told me, "You seem like you older than what you are, or you act older than your age." And the reality of it is the the work and effort that it takes, the time and investment that it takes, the complete mind, the change of thought process, the losing of friends, the losing family, fractured relationships, relationships that mattered before that don't matter now, friends that didn't matter at some point that matter more now, friends that mattered in the beginning and friends that matter a shit ton now. You think about all of that, man. And for a lot of people, it's not worth it, right? They'd be like, "I don't give a shit about six figures." Well, I'm not going through that. Being a kid who came up without, came up not having nothing, my thought was always that somebody got to sacrifice, bro. There's no way I can go through this life and not go for what I know. Um, that was always, my mentality. But I appreciate you subscribing, Brother T Leaves. Like I said, I'm a Manosphere guy. I'm a Red Pill guy. But my goal is to talk brothers off of either that Red Pill rage stage, or to get brothers to smash the gas on their income so that they can start to demand some of the outcomes that they want. Right? Just like St. Kevin taught us. Smash the gas on the stuff that really counts. Know how you're being graded, and then go through and excel at it so you can get the results that you want. If I decided to get married and I felt like, hey, you know what? And I do have my passport, it's somewhere around here. If I felt like, man, you know what? I can go to another country and I'm going to get a wife from wherever. Brazil, hottest fish grease right now.
Y'all, I'm finna quit because this shit is ridiculous.
But if that was something that I wanted to do, it would be easy to do. Not because I'm better than anybody, but I sacrifice so much just to be able to have those options. Shout out to Brother Sammy. So I know nothing about computers. Man, computers are not as complicated as you think, bro. All the information is out there. I don't even know what ChatGPT is. Hey, you better learn. You better learn, because, hey, man, if you don't learn, you're going to be on some.
Not only do I gotta be ridiculed by the internet.
Hey, you better learn about that ChatGPT. Plus, Microsoft invested $10 billion in it. Yeah, major. I learned from repetition. I'm a highly visual learner too. I learned that way also. But even knowing how you learn is huge. Even knowing the way that you learn is really, really big. Slow down, brother. Slow down, please. Yeah, I've slowed down quite a bit now. I started to feel it. Like I said, I'm not a sickly person, so once I start to feel myself physically ill, headaches that I never had before, sharp pains behind my ear type deal, just from the stress and going so hard and running on fumes, I was like, oh no, I don't want to die for it. But at one point, I was like, man, I would slice my own throat, and bleed out on the floor before I fail. Learning is continuous. Tech will make sure you're gonna learn today. Yeah, don't think that 100K folks, yeah, may sound small as all donuts and coffee, bro. It is absolutely not. My purpose is directly tied to what I do, so it make it a little bit easier. Like I said, my goal is to teach brothers how to fish. So what I do kind of ties right into that, so it makes it a little bit easier. The person you start isn't who you'll be when you reach the hill you're looking towards, bro. I got a couple of day ones, and all of us work in the same industry. I brought in the same industry. I brought all of them in. None of them make under 70. Shit, none of them make under 80. Childhood friends, right, that I brought into the industry because I knew they had the talent to do it. But all of us have worked hard, bro. We've worked extremely hard, extremely, extremely hard. Okay, let's see. I'm at the right place to end. I'm looking to grow too. Already working 2 jobs and trying to do better myself mentally, spiritually, physically every day. Yeah, man. Bro, check this out. I I would work during the day, and I say this to say that I understand. I understand what you're talking about, bro. I was a single parent. I worked overnight as a technician. I worked overnight as a technician because it was easier to pick the kids up from school and drop them off. I would get off work, do what I needed to do with the kids during the day. Then I would bounce. I was a bouncer. And what I can tell you, brother, there were times I knew that I had an opportunity to grow. You know, when I was just starting out, I knew that I had leaders that were invested in me and that really cared about my growth, and they gave me a lot of opportunities. I had an opportunity to present the corporate as an hourly person, which is unheard of. It made a lot of the salary people piss the hell off. I had people that were my bosses that I doubled back, and they ended up working for me, older guys. So you can imagine how that dynamic was. But I understand where you're coming from, bro. I understand where you're coming from. If I could do anything different, um, when I was coming up through the ranks and when I was pushing really hard, I think that one of the things that I would do different is I would take a lot more time for leisure. Every now and then I would like slow down, and I've been in a motorcycle club for the last shit over 10 years, but um I would definitely spend a lot more time, a lot more leisure time, trying to knock the cobwebs off. But yeah, that working 2 jobs can be rough, bro. Make sure you're taking care of your mental and physical health. Um, I could have done a better job of that too. Being somebody who was always an athlete, I was like, man, I'm not worried about no 6 pack. Get that and shit. I want to speak on what you were saying about supervisors showing gratitude. It helps the workers, trust me. I believe I have a great supervisor, and I would do anything to help just cause. Yeah, yeah. He shows he cares, or at least pretends. A lot of times, a lot of people feel that way, like supervisors pretend to care, but from what I've experienced, a lot of them really do. It's hard, especially if you have a really good, like if their boss is really good at what they do. You can tell somebody who don't give a damn. And normally those are people, I'm gonna get them up out the business quick. Um, because it's not fair to the folks who really don't have as much power as they do, right? What I meant by that is donuts and coffee comment is that some people try to make everything seem easy. Folk get paid based on their skill sets. Hell yeah, competency gets compensated. Absolutely. Absolutely. That's what I try to explain to people too. Like, hey man, I know you feel like you should be making more money, bro, but just forklift drivers, bro, you can get them pretty easy, bro. Get on the phone with the temp service. I need somebody forklift certified. Versus, hey, we need a plant manager. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, you're 100% right, bro. Right. What bike do you have? Now, I have a Roadstar 1700, bro. Big V twin. I've been, I've been kind of iffy about riding it, bro. The way people be text messaging and stuff now. Yeah, man. Seek said, I want a 6-pack though. Go ahead, Seek. I'm gonna have this baller belly. I'm gonna have this belly. I'm gonna drop some though. I'm gonna drop some, but I personally think I look kind of good because boy, hey man, I ain't too shabby out here in these streets. Look at me talking shit. I don't be doing the whole ass thing, but yeah, I'm gonna keep this belly. Hey, you rock out with your 6-pack. You rock out with your 6-pack though. Look, according to all of the information that's out there, health is important. It is. It's extremely important. But money is too. You know what I'm saying? You can compensate a little bit. You can compensate a little bit when your pocket's right. Seek says she wants 6-pack. Shout out to, man, rest in paradise to St. Kevin, man. Competition gets compensated. Killing it with these shirts. Hey man, I may need to put up a Teespring with some of the sayings on the shirt. I may need to do that. Shout out to Brittany B. You look good. That Charlie, hey man, on my mama, on my hood. But you know, but I forgot you done spent some time down here in this. I ain't even home. I'm talking about down here. But you done spent some time in that good old D, man. Shout out to Seek. I'm gonna drop this link in the chat. Drop this link in the chat. Anybody wants to come up? Yeah, I may do that with the Teespring, man. I'm considering it. I'm definitely considering it. I'm thinking about it. She said, I'm from Texas, don't forget it. Ah, okay. My bad. I thought you was from the Peace Up, A-Town Downs. I'm from Texas, don't forget it. My fault. My fault, fellow Texan. I missed the Godfather in my chat family. Yeah, bro, we used to rock out in Kevin Samuels' chat. We used to go hard. Shout out to my brother A-Free. A-Free is he be on YouTube late. Like if I have a stream where I'm streaming at like 1 o'clock in the morning or something like that, he'll be full of energy. He'll be in there. But shout out to him, man. Yeah, you should, man. Yeah, Teespring. Yeah, I'm thinking about it, man. I'm thinking about it. Like I said, normally, the only time you hear me say, hey, contribute to the show if you appreciate the information is normally when I've put in a lot of time. Like I said, let me show y'all my list, man. So y'all can see your boy been working. Boy been working for y'all trying to put some good information out. A lot of times that you heard me be like, hey, support the show if I put together, a long list of information, because that's something that I actually purposely pivoted to put a lot of time into to make sure I try to add some value to you all. We got my sister Seek back here. But as soon as she come up, she gonna laugh. Watch.
Why you say that?
What's up, good sister? How you doing?
How you doing, Rich?
I'm doing good, man. What's the word, man? How you living?
I'm ready to move back to Texas. I'm tired of Georgia.
Yeah, you're in the A?
Yes.
Atlanta.
Yes.
Atlanta, man. I drove through Atlanta years ago and blinked and I was already out of there. I was like, this is not Dallas.
Exactly.
When you hear about Atlanta, you always expect it to be like this grandiose, this really big thing, right?
Yeah.
And I went through that. One of my best friends, one of my closest partners, if he watching, shout out to you, bro. Shout out to my homeboy Junebug. He from the A. He stayed down here for like 10 years and just moved back. But yeah, Atlanta caught me off guard. I was like, hey man, I tripped on tripped over a banana peel and I was right up out of there, man.
I don't blame you, Rich.
Yeah,
At least
man.
I'm not the only one that feels that way.
Yeah, man. When you come from where we from, man, everything being so stretched out, and you actually have a chance to get on the highway, get your mind together, get your mind right. Like it'll spoil you. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Hell, I'm out here in Louisville. They freeways got so many damn turns. I was like, boy, you gotta get a sports car. It's like this here ain't it, man. This
Well, they
ain't.
be having I call it the loop-de-loops where you gotta
And you know how like back home we have like 5 high, like where the freeways are stacked. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Man, here the homeless people are stacked up. I said, damn, the hell y'all got they got a fentanyl crisis around, or what is that? The opiate crisis around here, man.
And
said,
I know
man.
downtown Atlanta, it's a park full of homeless people, and
Yeah.
you know, going to school in downtown, you know, working downtown. It's crazy.
Yeah. So out of all of the things, the 20 points that I hit on, right? Which one? And I'll go through them real quick because I did say that I was going to round this off and bring it back home. But watch how this all kind of play into this whole Manosphere deal. So the first one is visionary thinking. The second one is strategic planning. Third one, adaptability. Fourth one, emotional intelligence. Fifth, communication skills. 6, decisiveness. 7, empowerment. 8, integrity. 9, confidence. 10, positive attitude. 11, creativity. 12, self-awareness. 13, cultural sensitivity. 14, resilience. 15, innovative thinking. 16, team building. 17, coaching and mentoring. 18, delegation. 19, conflict resolution. And 20, continuous learning. And all of those different bullet points, guess what they tie into?
What?
A good ass relationship.
Oh, wow.
See what I mean?
Wow.
When I was going through putting those together, after I went through and I wrote everything and I read everything, I was like, really? If you take these same 20 bullet points and you apply them to a relationship, how can you really fail? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I didn't even think about that. I will use that. You know, I wrote, that's something that I'm mentally taking notes right now of what you're saying. This is wonderful information.
I try. So if you see any of my shorts are normally made for like comedy or to kind of rattle the birdcage a little bit. But my live streams, I try to, like I said, I try to add some value. So even for the brothers who, like, you have a lot of brothers who they feel like they don't have charisma, or they feel like they're trying to find their charisma, or they're trying to borrow somebody else's charisma. You know what I'm saying? And I try to tell them, man, if you're a professional, bro, you have charisma. You just have to steer the conversation towards what you are good at. You know what I'm saying? Like, but just don't be weird about it. You know what I'm saying? And it's gonna take some practice. You know what I mean? We got my brother Charles in the back. I'm gonna bring him up to the stream. What's going on, brother?
What's happening, man? Can you hear me?
All right, man? Yes, sir. I can hear you.
Oh, okay. What's going on? I just figured I'd jump on the live real quick, see what's going on. You know?
Yeah, man. I'm glad you did, man. I'm glad you did, brother.
Yeah. Been a while, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. I only seen you in the chat, you know what I'm saying? Now you finally get to see me. You feel me?
Yeah. Straight up, man. It's always good to be able to put a name with a face, man. A lot of times, those of us who are here on YouTube as content creators or as people who absorb content, it's like you said, it's a lot easier to put a name with a face. You know what I mean?
Yeah, because some people don't think I'm black. You know what I'm saying? They see the name, you know what I'm saying? Be like, oh, man, I ain't black, man, stuff like that. So it's like, okay, I'm just gonna start hitting the link, and you know what I'm saying? Just pop on up. You feel me? So yeah,
right.
Plus you my Kevin Samuels chat brother. So
yeah. Straight up, man. Man, rest in peace to the Godfather, man. Rest in peace to the Godfather, man. He when he passed, a lot of people felt like the message would die out, but the reality of it is the cat was already out of the bag. You know what I'm saying? Where's Seek run off to? But the cat was already out of the bag, and I knew that it would just catch like wildfire. You know what I mean? So even though it was sad, his passing was sad. His passing was untimely. I do think that it spurred a movement. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and like I didn't ever think that his message would die down. You know what I
Mm,
mean? Because it's like with all the ridicule and backlash that he went through, nobody
right,
ever debated his point, what he was saying. They
right,
only just talk trash. Nobody could, go against what he's saying. They may not have liked him for what he was saying, but it was the truth. Truth
yeah,
hurts. I mean, you
yeah,
can't debate that.
right,
So yeah,
right. So
I mean,
out of all of the information that he put out, what are some of the information that really registered with you the most?
well, I'm gonna be honest with you. It's some of it is just be the simpler things. Like, you know how he did a whole video about the black women smiling and stuff like that.
Yeah, that was
I
heavy,
think it was
bro.
like I think it was like a year before that. He did a little small little video when he was in an ice cream shop. I don't know if
Hmm.
anybody else seen it, but he was telling men to smile then. You know what
Hmm.
I'm saying? If you smile more, people may approach you more. And I was like, okay, I'm gonna try that.
Yeah,
I did, and it worked. You know what I'm saying?
it works.
My bad, still my language, but just
You good?
smiling. You know what I'm saying? People will approach.
I'm
You
gonna
know what
tell
I'm
you something
saying?
about
Some
that.
people,
Go ahead.
uh, and like the reason for that is it's like, let's say like you like a girl or something, but you got this mean mug on your face, look like you fresh out or something. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying? She's not gonna. Or
right,
if you're trying to apply to a job, you know what I'm saying? You come up in here looking like you finna rob the place. You know
right.
what I'm saying? You got this mean mug. Like it was crazy because I was actually signing up for college because I wanted
Hmm.
to go study film.
Yeah.
And I had just took my picture ID, and then I had to go and talk to the advisor lady. And when
Hmm.
she looked it up and seen my picture, she thought it was a prison ID.
Yeah.
Like the what?
Yeah.
So it was like, okay, I might have to try this whole smile thing,
Yeah.
and
It
it
works,
worked out
man.
for me.
It
Just
works.
the just the just the little things. It's not all the time. I'm far from being a rich person, so
Right.
it's just the little things I'm gonna have to work on with myself.
Oh, man, that's what it's all about. And as long as you know the areas where you want to put in the work, that's really all that matter, man. All of us are going at our own pace, man. And at the end of the day, life is a game. Ain't none of us gonna make it out of alive. So with the time that we blessed with here, um, all of us have work to do, man. Like I said, in the process of breaking that 6-figure ceiling, bro, I took on a lot of damage, bro. So and that's one of the reasons why I do this. I try to explain to people, man, this is their shit. I was just gonna say, I'll tell you somebody who do smile though. I see. I see. I think you muted.
I
There you
heard you
go.
studying film. I just graduated with a degree in film. So shout out to
Oh
you.
yeah,
Whoop, whoop.
yeah. I was
Yay.
trying to get that study on, but I'm still gonna work on it. I'm still gonna work on it.
Awesome.
That's
Awesome.
that's my passion. Once I can get into that, I'll be good. You know.
Awesome.
So yeah.
Nice. So let me ask y'all this. So being that both of you are interested in film, right? With technology evolving at the rate that it is, right? How do you keep up with the latest and greatest camera, right? Because the camera that I'm filming with right now is an 80D. The one that I had like a couple months back was a 60D. The one that I had before that is one that I can't even use now because it's not compatible with my EOS utility. So how do you keep up with that? Do you just get one and ride it out until
Look, I purchased a camera back in 2017, and last
Mhm.
year I found out I can't use that camera no more. I
Yeah,
gotta upgrade, and I
Why
already
not?
know that because it's like, hey, that's the 1080 camera. It's not coming out. The picture is not coming clear. I need a new
mhm,
camera, right? And just
mhm,
following like Samsung, even the phone companies, iPhone, following GoPro, those type of companies, like okay. And then in the industry, the film industry, they always putting out content. Oh, this is the next best camera. Oh, you can do these, it has these features, and it's like I just want to buy everything. Me, I want
yeah,
to buy
Yeah, it
everything.
does be like that. Cause it's like
you need a rich husband then. You talking about you want to buy everything. Or you're gonna be working hard and really be on some.
Yeah. Cause they just can't. Hey, listen. Cause Canon and what is it? DJI. I ain't gonna do Nikon.
A whole bunch of options.
And the Sony. Yeah, between them, it's like I don't know what should I get? It's like you see this camera, they just come out with this, and then you look over here, they coming out with this, and it's like, man, I don't, you know what I'm saying? Like, man, I might need to get me a rich husband so I can get all this too. You know what I'm saying? So it's like I don't know what to get. But here's the thing though, by being in this film stuff, I know we look like a cinema photographer had taught me. So he had two different cameras and film with one, he filmed with the other. Mine didn't look too good, but he turned around and took that same camera and made it look real professional. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, it's not all about the camera itself sometimes.
Right.
Or most of the time. I'm gonna say 50-50. You know what I'm saying? I'm still learning some stuff, but you know, whether if it's an old camera, new camera, you know, it's not all about the camera, you know.
Yeah, I've seen people do some amazing things with iPhones, man. With these apps and with the editing software that they have now, I've seen some people. Man, there was a kid, like he flipped the phone upside down and then put it like up against a wall so that the aspect would look different, and then he put it in the program, put some filters behind it, and it's next level stuff, man. I'm creative. I'm creative from building stuff, right? I can build damn near anything, but when it comes to the editing part, that's something that I have to. I'll do a Google search or get on YouTube in a minute because I'm like, hey man, I know my limits. You know what I mean? Real quick, let me welcome Brother Sammy to man. What's going on, brother? Welcome to the stream.
Oh man, I'm good, Mr. Wrench Turner. How you doing?
Man, I'm good.
Thank
brother,
you for having us.
Absolutely, man. I'm glad you're here, bro. You was dropping a lot of gems in the chat, man. And I know that, like I said, you a horn frog, so.
No, wait. Listen, hey, I'm a Baylor Bear first.
Okay.
No, I just lecture over there at TCU. Let's throw it up now.
Man, my homeboy.
I was messing with you.
My homeboy was a Baylor Bear, man. He went in the first round. Got drafted to the Rams, man. Jason Smith. He played behind me in high school. Yeah, he played behind me in high school, man. Shout out to him. Yeah, good brother, man. He's a cattle rancher now. He played in the NFL a couple of years, got that money. He got like 32 guaranteed, got out and bought a bunch of livestock. He was like, I'm done. Married a white woman and say, I'm good. He married a white woman and say, I'm done. I said, damn, bro, you damn. You ran the quintessential
the playbook.
Brother from the hood play.
Man.
But yeah, man, tell us about yourself, man. I know Kevin affected all of us.
Man, he sure did, brother. I think this is gonna be a Kevin Samuels tribute by the end of this show, bro. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I came across Kevin like in the heat of it. I was, out of a divorce, combative type, woman who, even though I'm dating a professor black man, I can't listen to anything he say, that kind of thing. You know what I mean? But I'm from like your background. I'm a UPS driver, did CDL for about 12 years, that kind of grind, just guest lectured at TCU for a minute, went to Baylor for philosophy, honors college, that kind of vibe. But you know what I mean? Like, I came across Kevin Samuels during that transition time, and the point you're making about six figures, bro, you couldn't be even more correct, man. Like, you hitting so many nails on the head when it comes to leadership.
Yeah.
I'm talking about six figures, and even that list on relationships, like, bro, it fits perfect. Like, didn't even think of it like that.
Yeah.
Thank you for your gems.
Absolutely, bro. I've had people that when I explain, I've had people tell me, bro, you too humble, right? A lot of people that's in my personal circle, but they don't understand, like, bro, I don't want to turn up and I don't want to go out, bro, because I'm tired, motherfucker. Like, you know what I'm saying? I'm ready to get somewhere and sit down.
Yeah.
I'm finna find me somebody. I'm gonna feed the shit out of her. And we're gonna post up and watch this documentary. And we'll turn up, 90%,
Yeah.
it'll be smooth sailing, and then 10% get out of the country and do something wild. But for the most part, bro, your bro be gassed, bro, like in a way, not so much now. I'm used to it now, but for a long time, after years of learning everybody's job, bro, like being obsessed with it. You know what I'm saying? After years of doing that, a certain part of me is tired,
But
so that 6 figures can be detrimental to your health, man. Like that's how serious it is,
No, that's real. That's real. I mean, like I say, I was driving as a CDL driver for UPS for about I was there 12 years, drove for about 8. You know what I mean? And the wear and tear it does on your back, you know what I'm saying, your family life, you start picking up weight, you know what I'm saying? So I dropped out of that about a year and a half ago, retired, started on the self-taught route for the Java development, took a boot camp, you know what I'm saying? Like came across the KS. And you know how you preach about the 6 figures, and it ain't always about the money. It's all about how can I sustain myself and my family, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
So at UPS, I was already making right at, 80, 90, kicking down 6 anyway. So,
but
on the health factor part, it's just like, all the wear and tear on your body, it's easier ways. So in the span of a year and a half, your boy just did a boot camp, did a couple of self-taught, Java programming. And I saw a comment earlier about, knowing things about computers, man. You ain't gotta know. You ain't gotta know nothing. Luckily I do, but if you start, when you start learning, you learn. We have the capacity to learn. We have the capacity to adjust. So everyone got to start somewhere. But that road from 0 to 80, 90K offers is a span of 6 months. You see what I'm saying? It ain't like it takes years and years to learn these things. You know what I'm saying? So, I definitely employ any brothers out there in the chat or sisters if y'all are thinking about career changes that way, man. It's possible. Like today, I just had 2 interviews and got 3 more next week. Ain't got not one offer lower than 100. You know what I'm saying? So, and I'm just a week out. You know what I'm saying? I'm like 2 weeks out of a boot camp certification. You know what I'm saying? So get it. But on another tip, I just had to jump on the chat, say keep doing what you're doing. When you in Dallas, holler at your boy. I want to link up, you know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
Like do some lunch or something, you know what I'm saying? Talk, talk shop.
Absolutely, bro. You'd be surprised how many people I've met from YouTube, man. And they and like I said, part of it is my ignorance. They'll be like, bro, you really are who you like. I thought you'd be different. I'm like, nah, bro. Trust me, I come from nothing, bro. I'm always careful not to get too high and mighty. You know what I'm saying? So I come from you know how Dallas is. See, you know how Dallas is, man.
I'm from Stop 6, brother. So I feel
in Funky Town.
I'm a Funky Town, brother. I'm in my girl's house, you know what I'm saying? She's a Dallas chick, you know what I'm saying? So I feel you, brother.
Yeah, man. But here, yeah, man. Like I said, TurnerWrenchTurner@gmail.com. That's my email, bro.
Okay, Turner.
Hit me up, and we'll definitely link up, man. Like I said, I fly home often. Sometimes I sneak back. I won't even tell nobody. I sneak. I'm out there in Heath, man. I sneak back and sneak back to the crib, and my truck still be parked the same. I don't even move it. I'll be in the crib the whole time. I'll be looking at the cameras. I'll be like, shit, nobody. I don't know. I want to be left alone. You know what I'm saying? Hey, there go the bro. I'm gonna see if y'all recognize him. We got the brother A Free in the building. He was a terror in Kevin chat. So
Free.
So I'm gonna get that brother. He ain't got a cam up because I know he fly under the radar. One of these days, if when I hit 1,000 subscribers, this brother gonna have to call into the show. He ain't got a cam up. He ain't got to have no picture up. But we gotta hear what he sound like. He flying under the radar, man. He like, nah, I stay in the shadows, brother. I can't come out of the shadows, brother. But shout out to the brother A Free, man. Good brother. Damn good brother.
Hey, Rich, I'm about to have to jet on you boys, but I wanted to confirm. I wanted to confirm the email. You said Turner, Wrench Turner?
Yeah, TurnerWrenchTurner@gmail.com.
Got you, brother. Thank you guys for your time, and you know what I'm saying, you keep doing what you're doing, bro.
Absolutely. I appreciate you coming up, brother. You take it easy.
Yes, sir. You too, guys.
See, get to make that laugh and see what brought you to St. Kevin, man. What
Actually, I had a friend that put me on Kevin Samuels when he was just talking to the brothers. So at that time, I'm like, wow, he's saying some great information, but he's not talking to the sisters yet. So last year I found out he was finally talking to the sisters. I'm like, oh, let's go. Oh, and I saw that. I'm like, oh my gosh, this is excellent. This is wonderful. And I started seeing all the craziness, the chaotic, the information. Like, I'm like, oh, I was waiting on that.
Hey, free.
I was waiting on that.
Yeah. Oh, so you could already see the pushback and the lack of accountability. You can already see it all coming.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. For those, for those of us who grew up, man, in the hood, you already knew, you already knew what was coming. You know what I'm saying? But he handled it so well, man, and handled it in a way where it was hard to really disagree. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's all driven by stats, it's all driven by facts, it's all driven by experiences that a lot of us had. So it's hard to go against that. So what ends up happening is they just, well, I don't care, I feel.
Yeah.
I feel like this. So I mean, it's go ahead, brother.
I was gonna say, and that's another thing. He put a lot of work in behind what he was doing.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? He researched, studied, and which is just like we said, that's why nobody could never go against what he was saying. I mean, it's just the hate now. But he didn't even let that get to him, which is why he was still, going. I mean, I never seen anybody else with like 25,000 people in the chat. You know what I'm saying? Not even Fresh and Fit. That's the most I have ever seen anybody have a chat that huge. You know what I'm saying? So,
I was gonna say, man, when it came to moderating, just imagine moderating, man, with 25,000 people in the chat. We were on hyperdrive, man. You had women who was talking crazy. You had dudes who were in Red Pill Rage talking crazy. You had dudes who didn't like him talking crazy. You had white people who were pissed off that his focus was more along, it was, of course, the message, it was a broad message that everybody could relate to, but it was more centered towards us culturally, right? So you had people was like, why does he always say black? We were blocked in. Like it was after some shows, I would have to go back and watch them because there would be times where I'd be like, God damn, boy, Jesus. Like you would literally be tired after the show. And then your eyes just from trying to catch the BS. You know what I mean? So it was but it was fun though, man. I looked forward to Monday, Wednesday, and Friday.
Yeah, man.
But
yeah.
Y'all mods was really working. Yeah, we were working, man. We were definitely working our ass off. And the when I look back on that time, and I was on Dennis Sperling's channel probably about a year ago, maybe 10 months or something like that. And we were talking about Kevin and the message that he was putting out. And for whatever reason, I had a feeling that he wouldn't be around for a long time. You know what I'm saying? I was just like, man, to burn, like for somebody to burn that bright, you know what I'm saying? Like to where you like immediately, you literally have, you're world famous. You know what I mean? They know about you in other countries, and people who don't even speak English, they translate this stuff and they have captions at the bottom of the screen because the message is so potent and powerful. It was, I was like, man, when you burn that bright, someone was just telling me, I was like, damn, he not gonna, you know what I'm saying? Like, this is not gonna last forever. That's the feeling those are the thoughts that I had, was like, it's not gonna last forever, man. I hope that it's not sooner than later. And then lo and behold, I'm like, damn, man. But he did such a service to brothers and sisters, man, the ones who are able to absorb the message. It was such a service, though. So I'm thankful to be, of course, to be able to mod on the channel and the conversations behind the scenes and all that stuff. So it's like I said, you're like, I'm gonna show y'all what 6 figures is. Yes, sir. Not a problem. Mhm. Mhm. I would try powering it down first. I would try powering it down. Yeah. Y'all can keep going. Y'all ain't gotta stop on my account.
Okay.
Yeah, I would say try powering it down first.
Hey, Free. Yep, that was me up here. I don't know if he's still in the chat. I can't see.
Yeah. Yeah, I saw what Free had was saying in the chat.
Oh, snap.
Uh-oh. Well, hi chat. I hope y'all having a good night. I hope y'all get some rest, some well needed rest, right?
Oh,
Okay, there you go.
read that line.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't know what I did. Like I say, I'm
Okay.
like illiterate when it comes to all this other stuff. I'm trying to see how I put up the avatar and kick me out.
I know I was having connection issues earlier, so I had to switch to my phone Wi-Fi.
Yeah. But what type of film are you doing?
I'm sorry. Can you?
What type
I
of-
didn't hear the question.
I was saying, what type of film do you do?
Well,
Like this?
there's no type of film I do yet. I do plan on getting my company soon, which is going to be a media company. So I'm looking forward to that because I just graduated last month. So it's time to get the ball rolling. I already have clients. Yeah, but my filming services is not available on my end right now because I have to get my equipment first. I have to upgrade my equipment. So after I do that, then filming services will be available.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That film, that equipment is
Doing this since high school. So I love this. I love it. Every time, oh, I see a camera. Oh, somebody editing. Oh, you in film. Oh, I get excited. I love it.
Yeah. That's how I am too. Like I work at this hotel. People come up here filming and stuff. I look at their camera just to see what they got. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, oh, he got the little jib and everything. I see. You know what I'm saying? They be like, oh, you know about film? Oh yeah.
Yes.
You know.
In Atlanta, they always filming. It's annoying, but they always filming. I'm always taking a look at it, like, hey, oh, that's a nice camera right there.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
I know I can't afford that right now, but it's nice. It's nice to look at.
Yeah. Yeah.
So,
like
I
most
focus
people
more
here,
on
they
the editing part.
Yeah, like I say, I'm like illiterate when it comes to computer, so I have to take mine to somebody else, take my stuff to somebody else so they can edit it. So,
Oh, okay.
like I
Hey,
say, I'm gonna be more of like a cinema photographer. I mean, yes, I'm gonna have to get good with computers a little bit with that, but that's more of my focus. You know what I'm saying? So it's something like a director. You know what I'm saying? Is she frozen? I think she froze up.
Jesus Christ. Oh man, my bad, y'all.
I think homegirl done froze up over there.
Seek. Oh, Seek done froze up on us. Let me do this. Let me try to drop her down. Yeah, man. So that's a prime example of when people want to hit that 6-figure mark, man. And you see it's 11:59. And keep in mind, I've been up since probably this may be like close to 24 hours. Just because we're fighting through a situation with a piece of equipment. So it's fair.
Yeah.
You know, it's all fair, man.
Yeah, it's 12 o'clock. I got to get ready to clock out and go to the high.
Yeah, it's all good, brother. Hey, I appreciate you calling in, man, and it's good to finally put a name with a face. I'm gonna get you a wrench in here too, man. Let me see.
Yeah, because I be like, I don't know why I kind of cut off my notification, my YouTube notification, because it'd be like every 3 minutes is like going off. It'd be like a whole thing. So I just kind of shut them off, and I just be, just happen to hop on, and you know what I'm saying. But you're the only one that be on late. There's not at late, like so. It's like I have to kind of like search, and I am subscribed, so it's like you don't pop up when you live. So
I got you, brother. Hey, man, I appreciate you swinging through, brother, as always, man. Like I said, I appreciate you watching the content, and I hope that I'm adding some value to you, brothers, man, because I'm definitely trying to do that, bro.
Yeah, that's what's up. That's what's up.
All right, brother, you be cool now.
You too, man.
All right, bro.
All right.
Say Seek.
Sorry about that, y'all.
Seek, you over there on that? Find out you got some struggle wireless going on.
I don't know what's going on with my end. I just updated my equipment, my internet equipment. Like, what's going on? Like, come get it together.
You might have to get one of those Wi-Fi boosters.
Come on. Don't say that. I don't want to pay. I'm tired of dishing out money. I want to keep my money.
Yeah.
I want to be like Terry Crews and Everybody Hates Chris.
Yeah. Let me ask you this.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, your smile is one of your better features, right?
Thank you.
So, do you use that to your power to hook in these brothers out here who be lost in the sauce?
Look, Wrench. Ever since I separated and I got divorced, I don't be out here. They come to me. They whistle at me. I don't be trying to do nothing. I just want to work out. I just want to stay in the house. And they want to talk. No, thank you. I know that's no. No, I don't. No.
I get it, man. I was like, because especially nowadays, man, you really don't see too many sisters. You don't see too many sisters that really smile a lot. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So when you do see it, I know brothers notice it. You know what I'm saying? That's why I was like, I'm pretty sure you're probably getting chased home from the gym and everything else.
I work out at home. I work out at home because I don't want that.
She said, I be ducked off. I get it.
I go to work, come back home. If I gotta run errands, I run errands, come back home. I barely run errands. I order my groceries online.
Man, I can't remember the last time I cooked. I be DoorDashing it up like an idiot.
Yes, same.
I'll be DoorDashing it up like an idiot. So for the people who are still in the chat, man,
Thank
I know
you,
a lot.
Brittany.
And it's so funny that this is happening, right? So I'm gonna read this, right? So it says the call that I got was one of my supervisors. He was freaking out. He said, "Man, we gotta have you. I need you to come in. I don't know what to do. I'm kind of shit." So, hey, man, calm down. Calm down and relax. Cool your horses, right? And he said, I just need you to come in, man. I said, hey, man, listen. Listen. That's why I had to mute it. I was like, hey, man, listen. And turn the camera off. Listen. You get paid to solve problems, man. solve the problem. Well, I'm trying. I just can't. I said, because you're spending a lot of time on the phone wanting me to fix it for you.
Mm-hmm.
So I gave him a piece of advice. He says, okay, did what you said. The machine started running. So now they're going to get it back home. Your idea worked. I'm very sorry about being a pain in your butt. But we need to run. So as a leader, it's funny this is happening in real time. So as a leader, it's my job to say, not a problem.
Mm-hmm.
Not a problem. Glad you're good to go. I'm going to bed, but I'm not.
Mm-hmm.
I'm glad you're good to go. Headed to bed. That's the way we're gonna head to bed. Been up almost 24 hours. We're gonna shut that down.
Like that's boundaries, you know. Boundaries.
Yeah, exactly.
Very important.
Yeah, it's so funny that this happened, and I'm gonna go back and watch this, and I may cut it up and clip it and
Mm-hmm.
turn it into some shorts. But it's a prime example of it is. I'm on East Coast time, so it is 12:05, which is not bad, but I was up 24 hours ago. You know what I'm saying? Like I was up. So that's the part that I put the post up where on Christmas, I was working on Christmas, you know what I'm saying? Some people couldn't fathom that. Like, I just gotta be with my family. I gotta go get these motherfucking coins. That's you know what I'm saying? Like while I'm in my prime working years, I gotta go get these motherfucking coins. But hopefully that provides some perspective for the folks who think that this is easy. It is definitely not for the faint at heart.
Yeah.
You got anything else you wanna chime in on, sister? I appreciate you actually joining the panel, man. This
Thank
is the first.
you. I've been trying to join, but you've been
right.
joining late. I'm like, oh, I gotta get some rest. I'm tired.
You like what you say? He be on too late.
Yeah, I'm like, oh. But finally, right? I'm excited to join your live. I'm really am. I appreciate your support. I'm still trying to figure out what's special about ChatGPT because I told one of my clients not to use it. It looks ridiculous to me. Maybe if I get more understanding.
So ChatGPT. Let me. So you said you're into filmography, right?
Yes.
So if you were going to start I'm not going to do that one. So just say if you said, what is the most, you could ask ChatGPT, what is the most budget-friendly camera that I can get in 4K that is within 100-mile or within a 10-mile radius of this zip code that has these features, right? And it tells you put that information in and it gives you the camera that does it, right? And you can say, write me the camera settings or list out the camera settings to get the clearest picture possible, and it'll do it in a matter of seconds. Right? And it's like Google on steroids. You know what I'm saying? But it's actually a utility. You know what I mean?
Okay.
So the power is in how you ask the questions versus versus it just being there. So you have to ask the right questions, and you have to ask the right questions in the right way. You know what I mean? Like for me, one of the things that I want to do is centered around these big industrial robots, right? And so I asked ChatGPT, what is the most budget-friendly model of this robot, right? And what is the most common use for it? And it laid everything out. Like a model-specific robot, you know what I'm saying? Google, you kind of have to filter through and, you know, kind of go through some sponsored links. ChatGPT is just going to give it to you just.
Oh.
Another thing I did, I had ChatGPT fully automate a YouTube video.
What?
The words, the voice, the video, the editing, everything. 5 minutes. 5 minutes. I used it with another AI program, but it was next level. Next level.
Okay.
And you would never know. If you watch it, you would never know.
Okay.
Matter of fact, you want me to play it?
Yes, please.
Let me see. I need to let me do this. Give me just a second. Try to bring this up.
Avery, get a 4K camera.
So this is when it uploads. This is
Okay.
all AI generated. It's a full YouTube video. It's not long either. And it's this go to show you how much of a geek I am behind the scenes. Hold on. Oh, it's still loading because it's I want to say it's in at least 1080p, maybe 4K.
Ooh.
So this is ChatGPT with another AI, I think I'll say platform program. And as soon as this thing actually processes, we'll play it. But it's definitely, it's powerful.
Okay.
It is extremely powerful. And I'm trying to, oh, here it is. Ready?
Yes.
Ready?
Yes.
Y'all in the chat, y'all ready? Let's get it.
Welcome to Thoughts and Influence of the Ancients. Socrates is widely considered to be one of the most influential figures in the development of Western philosophy. Born in Athens, Greece in the 5th century BCE, he is known for his method of questioning, which is known as the Socratic method. This method involves asking a series of questions to stimulate critical thinking and to help individuals arrive at truth and understanding through their own reasoning. What made Socrates so well known? One of the most well-known examples of the Socratic method can be found in Plato's The Apology, in which Socrates is on trial for impiety and corrupting the youth of Athens. Rather than defending himself against these charges, Socrates uses the opportunity to question his accusers and to present his own views on the nature of wisdom and the pursuit of knowledge. Through this dialogue, Socrates demonstrates his belief that wisdom comes not from knowing facts, but from the ability to question and think critically. Socrates' impact on philosophy can also be seen in the...
Look at that, got y'all ass hooked in like a documentary.
Yeah. Oh.
Yeah.
Okay, Socrates. Okay.
So that's the power of
Wow.
that's the power of AI in general, but it is, yeah.
Well,
And that's really just
client was saying, well, I'm like, what you trying to use it for? Oh, I want to use it for scripts. I don't know about that, but
scripts.
I we'll see. Well, yeah, I was like, we'll see. So I'm
You
like,
can.
you want to write scripts here? Here's what you need, right? But
So look up Jordan Peterson ChatGPT. He asked the questions as an Ivy League professor would. He asked ChatGPT to write, I don't know if it's a book or a paper, and he asked it to write it in a certain way. And he said when he read it, he couldn't tell the difference between this author who he's really familiar with and this damn AI that wrote it in the same, like you couldn't tell the difference. And it's completely different words, but it was just a topic that he picked up.
like the same nature.
Yeah, it had the same type of and of course I'm not a writer, but it had this, like, it seemed like this author wrote this book. It was in the same type of format, in the same type of writing style. You know, that's I guess that would be a better way. The same type of writing style. So, like I said, the power is just in asking knowing which questions to ask.
Okay.
Them Athens boys always got their penis out. Facts. Facts. But them Romans were on some On some more stuff, them Spartans too. And my boy said I use Mid-Journey for some art I'm working on. Yeah, you're starting to see a lot of people are using AI and don't even know it. So a lot of those TikTok filters where it looks like people, they like, oh, you know, it's a filter that look like a black king or queen or whatever. A lot of that is AI too.
Mm,
Yeah, so that's a tongue twister in that Chat GPT. Yeah.
yes.
Especially for somebody like me who got real big canines. I'll be I halfway can't talk. But you know, even when I was going through my 20 bullet points, I was like, in the pituitary. I said, damn, that ain't even on here. Let me, that ain't even on here. Oh my. I'm finna. Shit. I said, that ain't even pituitary, not even on here. Shit. I said, damn, where I get philanthropist from? That's not on here. Shit. Trip myself. Trip my goddamn self out. But I said I was gonna get some veneers. I was like, man, I'm finna get some veneers, man. I'm gonna come through with them. You ever see like the teeth on like those carnival horses where they be like real? I was watching Tariq Nasheed the other day. I said, damn, that boy teeth look like them damn carnival horses. I said, shit, they icy, you know, they icy. They icy. I'm not gonna sit there and count, they icy, but goddamn. So shit, get some of them Steve Harvey, some of them big old, so motherfucker bite a hole in it.
Just go to Johnny Dang and get your grill.
Man, you know what? I had a top and bottom back in the day. I had them trophies.
Yeah. Oh my God.
Trophies, man. I had them trophies, man. But now I think the thing is just trying to preserve the smile and see. And I actually got a lot. So when I lost my facial hair, when I lost my hair up top, all this came in. So I think it's a sign like, hey man, you need to mature to bring it full circle. But I might, hey man, you know, for my birthday, I might throw them trophies. In my April.
Okay.
Yeah, April. So I may throw them trophies.
Okay. I gotta see that.
Hey, but you know what? I had a full get up on though. You know what I'm saying? I really, you know how we do, man. How I really you know what I'm saying?
Come on.
I really be on the inner pimp CB trying to come out. You know what I'm saying? Look, I'm gonna go live too. I'm gonna go live on New Year's. I had to catch myself. I went live on New Year's Day. I had to catch myself. I had filled my handy dandy Yeti up with Jack and Sprite. I started to get a little too loose. I said, man, where the bottle of water at? I said, I done turned up on accident. Damn. And look, I was live on the show too. I started drinking water on the side. I was like, yeah, let me put a little bit of water in here and cool it down a little bit.
Yeah.
When you say you moving back to
like for sure got by September, no later than September. Yeah. I would like to move earlier than that, like in the summer. I'm actually going back to Dallas at the end of this month because I got to handle some business.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. So I know you from Texas. You're not from Dallas though, right?
No, I'm from Houston.
Okay. She from H. Now, you from Houston, or you from?
I'm from Houston. Okay. I'm from Houston.
You know, y'all in them suburbs.
No, Houston.
Oh, okay.
Absolutely. Because I know how they be. I saw that when I went to college. I'm like, that's not Houston.
Yeah. I was gonna say,
yeah. I'm from Houston.
You said she from H-Town.
Yeah.
My brother A-Free said, imagine my brother Rich Turner having a 5 heartbeats, big red purring back in the day before he went bald. Man, y'all don't want to see a picture of me in high school. I think I got it, but I think I don't. I'm gonna put that. I'm gonna make a post one day. But I was fly though. Even back in the day, man, I had the crease down. Hey, them shits that stand up by themselves. Man, hey man, my shit was painted candy burnt orange on D's. Hey, I was that guy, man. I was that guy. That's what I be trying to tell dudes. Like, man, it'd be so foreign to me when dudes be like, I guess I don't know the numbers because a lot of people call them out, but they'd be like, dudes are like adult virgins. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
And I'm like, bro, I get it if you have like, if your religion calls for you to do that, bro, like, cool.
Mhm.
But if you're actively trying and can't win, like, bro,
Yeah.
there's, and I catch flack sometimes, but I'm like, bro, it's something is off. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
Like something is off. Maybe it's too much social media. Maybe it's,
Mhm.
but I talked about that, I think, on a previous stream, or I put a short together. I was like, sometimes, bro, you got to just look in the mirror and be like, hey, man, take that deep breath. And if you can't do that, bro, life is going to be difficult. But for whatever reason, I was able to do that as a youngster and be like, yeah, you full of shit. You need to get on your shit. You know what I'm saying?
Okay, yeah. Accountability.
Accountability.
Hey, it's going down.
They going down.
You know?
No, I'm talking about. Man, y'all got me ready to get back to the crib. You know what I'm talking
Like,
about?
come on.
Hey, man, y'all got me ready to get back to the
I
crib.
be jamming my Texas music playlist all the time.
Yeah, man,
Got to.
I thought I was in the office late one day and I thought everybody was gone. And I was in there listening to some Big Crit.
Oh.
And apparently they were still there. And I got a flat screen in my office, like I think it's like a 65-inch that like I project onto it. And the speakers on it on point. So I was jamming. I thought everybody was gone. And they came in there kind of smiling, like, I was like, yeah, you should send me grabbing that mouth. Look, all you could hear was trying to stop that music, man. But yeah, it just hit different. I'll be trying to tell people.
Yes.
I'll be trying to tell people, man. It's just such a difference. It's a difference, man. Texas is just where it's at. Like, I ain't knocking nobody else. Everybody got their sound, but our shit is just different, man.
Yeah. People don't understand why I'm moving back to Texas, especially when I'm in film. They like, oh, that Atlanta is known for film. I'm like, yeah, that's what I thought too, but not for me.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. That's just it.
Yeah.
Like, I always get, oh, you gonna work for Tyler Perry? No, no. Because if I work for Tyler Perry, I'm gonna be an unpaid intern, and I don't have time for that. I have 10 years of experience. No, I'm not starting back over. I'll work with Tyler Perry, but I'm not working for him.
Do you do like drone footage?
I would love. I can't wait till I get into that. I would love to do that.
I got a ratchet home.
I got my ex-husband a drone.
Man, I got a.
Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead. That thing. Oh, we was having a lot of fun.
Them drones, man. My partner, man, he from South Dallas, and he got one. Ooh. So the South, of course, is wide open. He out behind a liquor store, and a matter of fact, he done had a couple videos go viral. It was one where this dude was like propositioning this lady, right? And it's a drone footage. It's his ass flying the drone. My partner, I almost called his name, but it's him flying the drone. But he does video. He's like he got a healthy sense of humor. You know what I'm saying? He got a real healthy sense of humor. But that damn drone footage, man, a lot of stuff filming like 1080p, and that's enough with the right editing. You know what I mean?
With the right editing.
Yeah, a little bit of razzle and dazzle. Let me find out my battery done went out. You hold on real quick, Miss Seek. Give me just a second.
Okay. I want real quick. I wanted to acknowledge it. A free comment. He said something about what you said. Something about. He said, I still got a VCR. I like the foot. Look, you can still do 4K and put the filter over that whole video. It may take a long time to render, but you can still have that effect. The power of look, oh my God, I'm so ready to go back to Texas. Oh my God. Oh, I just came back there from vacation and I miss it so much.
Man, Texas is where it's at. I've been trying to tell people.
Yes.
They don't be believing it. It's just ain't no place like home, man. Like
Yeah, they ain't got no Whataburger down here. They ain't got no Shipley's. Oh, I ain't got a lot of stuff. I'm losing my mind. I'm like, oh no.
man, I
The
seen a
stores
white.
that I like to go, it ain't hidden.
I saw a White Castle. I was like, what the hell is that?
Oh,
The hell is that? I was like, nah, it's not. I was like, nah, it ain't it. It ain't it, man.
I
It ain't
can't
it.
find no good barbecue down here. Oh man.
I'm trying to tell. I asked the young brother, man, that work in the plant. I said, man, what's y'all best chicken spot down here? He said, man, you got to try Indy's. I was like, okay, I'm gonna try it. I said, man, I'll make chicken better than this. I said, this ain't. I said, this is the best. Now, it just depends on which one you go to. Oh, nah, bro. Oh, no. I was like, if this a chain, I was like, but he's one of the ones, he come from a rough neighborhood out here, and he's one of the ones that I'm gonna get on a plane and get to Dallas to link up with the brothers that I grew up with that work in manufacturing too, to really broaden his horizons and really open his mind up, because he is stuck in this, where he's from, right? He's stuck on this little bitty bubble. And I'm like, bro, you ain't had food yet. And this is supposed to be like a barbecue staple. I'm like, man, take me to the crib. I got a smoke. I got a smoker in the backyard. I got a little bit of rust on it. Got a little bit of rust on it. I got some charcoal briquettes. Give me one of the big old YU briskets, man. I'm finna quit. Now I'm playing. Like, I'm finna quit. I'm finna quit my job to get back to the crib. She said, y'all make Texas sound so good. I may have to visit. Hey, I'm telling they missing out. They missing out and don't even know it. My brother A Free be moving and grooving and moving throughout this country though. I know he spent some time in the D. He was naming places. I was like, man, what you doing up in Big T, bro? What you doing over there off of Sana, man? What you doing? He said, Amethyst, I heard you on that, but isn't that faking it? That 4K will be stepped on. Say, God damn.
Do your VCRs then. Do your VCRs. Your VHS tapes.
That goddamn A Free, man. That's my boy. That's my boy right there, man. He's another one that heavily supported Kevin, man. So once I, you know, this is the thing. I always say that revolution comes in two colors, right? Either red or green. You're either gonna bleed for it or you're gonna pay for it.
Ooh.
So if you're not gonna bleed for it, right, then that's where a bulk of our money should be, which is why A Free too. A couple of us would do like a few $100 super chat, $200, $300, $400 super chat, because you can imagine. Just look at how they act when he passed. You can imagine the doxing, the emails, the people get your phone number, or figure out where you live, or see you out in public. So I always try to make sure that that we made it worth it. You know what I'm saying? Because he's advocating for us. He's putting himself out there for us. So I always try to make sure, like, man, we gotta support this brother, man. And I was happy to see right around the time when he was getting ready to interview Brittany Renner. I think that brother was in that, I think it was either in a Lotus or a Rari. I was like, shit, that's what the hell I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about, man. That's what I'm talking about, shit.
Oh, I love my screwed music.
Yeah.
I love my chopped and screwed music.
Man, I was listening to, what's the dude to sing that song, You My Starship?
Which one?
You are my starship. Come take me up to. Oh, she's finna make me open another window, Lord. Thank you. What, you ain't heard? I'm gonna seek. You finna make me do it.
Yeah, I like music. I like music.
Hey, you see, I be jamming, man.
I like it.
I be jamming. Let me see this. I can never think of the name. So it's Norman Connors. But I think let me screw it got to be Norman comma screwed though. Let me see.
Okay.
Should be jamming. Here we go. Let me show you something. See, you think boys playing around here with this? Let me present real quick.
A-Free got jokes.
You play Christmas music. Hey, they down.
Look. If we do, we do.
Hey, because they damn sure will say. They damn sure will. See, what is this? Let's do that. Shit. Can you hear that?
I can't hear nothing.
You can't?
Mm-mm.
This is racist. This is racist. Clearly, this is racist.
Did you share your audio when you shared your screen?
I did not. Let me try that.
Yeah.
Let's do this. Oh yeah, share system audio.
Yeah. Now I can hear.
I have to go.
You don't know nothing about that, man. Hold up. Hey man, I'm feeling real Texas right about now. You know what I'm saying?
Me too, Rich.
You know what I'm saying? I'm feeling real. You know what I'm
You
saying?
pulling up your sleeves. What you doing, Rich?
Man, you know what I'm
What
saying?
you doing?
Hey, I'm kind of feeling like, hey man. I almost pulled up a deuce.
Oh.
let me turn that off. I'll be done. I'm gonna pull up some pepper drink up in here or something.
I might go get my styrofoam cup.
You know what I'm saying? Double cup. Look, I'm gonna be a bougie drinker. I'm gonna be drinking out of Yeti cup. They're gonna slap the shit out of my hand. Nigga, you supposed to have a double cup. Oh man, that shit done made my damn night, man.
Oh man.
I ain't gonna be on here too long. Tomorrow, Friday, I may go in a little bit later if I even go in. I'm cool. I may work from home. I may work from home.
Yeah.
They done got their money's worth over these last 24 hours. You got any closing remarks, sister?
Thank you, Rich Turner. This has been an awesome stream. I look forward to joining more of your lives. And I'm still going to be looking out for your other content, your shorts, videos, clips, everything. Thank you so much, brother.
Man, I appreciate it, sister, man. And like I said, anytime I see you go live, I always try to stop through and support. And like I said, you got a beautiful spirit about you, man. And
thank you.
Make sure you keep it and don't let anybody take it away from you, because it's definitely nowadays, you rarely see it. So I appreciate you bringing that energy to the stream and always being upbeat. And like I said, as soon as I brought you up, I was like, I knew you were gonna laugh. I was like
somebody actually said I laughed, I smiled too much and laughed too much, and I need to wear a mask. I'm like, dang.
Damn. Man, it's my opinion that
thank you, Brittany.
Like I said, you don't see it too often. So and even like my brother A-Free go hard. If it's something off, he gonna call it out.
Okay.
But even he notices. So definitely keep that, man. Like I said, it's appreciated when you have a panel, you have people come up with really good energy and really brighten up streams. So appreciate you coming up.
Thank you.
Absolutely. You have a good night now. I'm gonna drop you down, but I am gonna close us out with some music like I always do.
All right.
You have a good night, sister.
Good night.
Bye. All right, man. All right. So for everybody who stopped by, man, appreciate y'all being here. If you do feel a need to do so, definitely go back and watch the stream. We touched on 20 bullet points of leadership. all of these different things are things that I've come up with as it relates to. I know Brother Kevin talked about being high value, but when it comes down to being a six-figure earner, I actually have to take a call live on the stream. So hopefully that kind of puts it into perspective that this stuff is not for the faint of heart. It is it's never ending. It don't stop. But as I always say, appreciate y'all joining the stream and stopping by the chat, commenting, and all that good stuff. That's all I got for y'all tonight. Big Bro gonna catch up with y'all. Y'all be good. Bet. And we're gonna close it out with some music. Y'all have a good night.
Take me down off your pedestal. I've got a name. I've got a name. Lovers do what the lovers do. I do the same. I do the same. Let me touch the sky, brother. Let's play the game. I do my thing till I'm satisfied. Love's everywhere, celebrate. I don't need nobody's pedestal to play this game. I do my thing. 'Cause lovers do what the lovers do. Let's do the same. I do the same. And we touch the sky, brother. Show me your range. Let's play the game. Till you're satisfied, sister. Giving you my love, celebrate.
Y'all, I'm finna quit 'cause this shit is ridiculous.
Stop acting like a fucking hood rat and bring your black ass home.